Hello, everybody, and welcome back to part two of the Pumpkin Cup After Action Report. And believe it or not, I'm joined again this time by Salt.
Hello again. Good to be back.
Who could have seen this coming? And now we're going to be going into part two, which will uncover everything from year three onwards in the Pumpkin Cup, because we took a long time on the first 2 years in the pre-game.
Only 3.5 hours. Just a casual, I don't know, what's that, like 90 minutes per phase?
That's not
Easy.
that bad, clearly. So
Yeah.
yeah, um, I guess we'll dive back into it because it's been a moment. Yeah. So, negotiations. I guess we'll start with me and move on to you, Salt, and we'll go back and forth as needed. Um,
Yeah, that works.
Out in East Asia, I was trying quite hard to convince Tokugawa that I actually wanted to be their friend, but that I just really wanted the Bonin Islands tile, and that they didn't really need to worry about me otherwise. And I'm gonna be honest, they didn't buy it at all. Like they completely for some reason, they thought that I was a hostile power that needed to be dealt with.
I can't see why,
Yeah.
honestly. What'd you ever
Um,
do to them?
yeah, there's not much I could say in this position to convince them otherwise. The only thing is that, the issue for me is that I only had a couple of builds, only two here. So, I mean, I put one down in Cebu, and the position here made it so that I would need, in all likelihood, to devote both of these fleets to driving back to Hugawa if I didn't want to give up one of these centers, because Sulu Sea needs to be covered at all times to ensure that they can't sneak in here, which would be really bad for me. But to cover that, I might need to do like this kind of move set, and it gets very complicated, even with these two fleets in the North Pacific, because I want those two fleets hopefully to maybe do something to either Uchishone or Aymara. And for those reasons, when it becomes clear Tokugawa is not quite interested in peace with me, I go to Ezio. I think it was in this phase. And I try to make up with him. And by try to make up with him, I tell him, "Hey, I know I kind of attacked you here. Not my idea. This was Salt's idea, and I like need Salt because of Aymara death warring me in South America." And to be fair, that's completely true. That's why I did it. that's
Yeah, yeah,
that's
that's fair enough, honestly.
that's the
That's
reason I did it.
hilarious.
Yeah. Um. So yeah, it's great. Um. I at some point make a deal with Ezio about this. Let's see. Yes, in the fall I have a further deal with Ezio, but we'll talk about that in the fall when it happens, or I guess in spring moves when after which it happens. But that's East Asia. It's pretty simple. It's me. This position plays itself. I think to an extent. It should be pretty straightforward. Then as I pan over to Europe, I had concluded some sort of peace with Cass here to try to trade out my European possessions in exchange for working against either like France or Austria or just not or just being able to pull units from the region essentially. The issue being that I took a few different gambles and all of them didn't pay off. I lost out on Naples and Rome, with the only upside being that Cass had a fleet here that she could have retreated up into Algerian basin or over into Iran, and instead she disbanded it. So, despite some of my gambles not paying off, I am in this position at peace with the Ottomans. Problem, the problem with that I see immediately is that's a fleet in Constantinople. Now, Salt,
Well,
I
you
don't know
do
about
have
you, but
AAA for free. Do you want to just, take it?
well, no, I don't because this.
Oh, I guess, yeah, but you should probably go
But
for it.
but this does kind of concern me. I mean, maybe it's designed to go this way, but I don't really believe that in the moment
Yeah.
because the Russians can always cover this. The only way to get that is to somehow maneuver the fleet in there and backfill, and even then, it's a long time. I see this thing as kind of a hedge against me, and I don't like it because I want to be safe.
Yeah, two fleets in the Black Sea seems a little much to have, especially because Cass isn't like in the best position overall. I don't think she's in a position where she can like afford to spend two fleets in that fight.
Yeah. Well,
But
such is
yeah, like if she were like really anti-you, she would have built it in a Greece. So
it just
I guess she'll
feels
like
weird. I'm like you already have these three
yeah,
fleets. I'm a paranoid motherfucker, especially in a game where Cass and I stabbed each other off the bat. Um,
yeah,
such as
I
life.
would be too.
Yes. I also had to patch things up with France around here, and luckily we did, because I had, with an army in Rome, supported Luxon to keep Florence against France, but it hadn't worked because Luxon for some reason didn't think I was going to go through with that move, and so didn't act like it was going to happen. Which, by the way, Luxon, if I say I'm gonna do some crazy move, I don't just BS about those moves. I do them because if you BS about those moves, a bunch of people won't believe you. But for some reason, Luxon didn't believe me anyways. Motherfucker that he is. Um,
He'll
and so
learn.
we are. One would hope. Otherwise, I'm kind of just hoping for status quo in Europe. I am considering stabbing Portugal here, but I don't quite trust Ottomans enough to let me do it to actually conduct the stab, right? Because I have some maneuver like in here, like this sort of thing, where if it all sets up right, I can, like, like if I had an army here, I could kind of, yeah, you see how this would evolve, right? I could get like 2 or 3 dots out of Portugal and really cripple them. The problem
Yeah.
is that if I do this, my current thinking is that it would be very advantageous in that if that happened for Cassandra to pull units west to attack me, and I'm not sure that she would ever really be tempted to actually direct her units up in this direction towards Austria. Um,
Yeah, she and Austria have been fighting, but
now
probably not to the extent where she pushed completely off of you.
Yeah, I think I would. By the way, I think I would have gone for this stab on Portugal in this position if I had more than 2 bills. The problem is that with 2 bills, I need at least one in the Philippines to preserve this position, and I need at least one in Mexico to preserve this position. Now, in hindsight, I probably should have just committed to the knife against Portugal here. Um, at least one of those two colonies is a lost cause. Probably Mexico is just completely lost out of this position, for reasons we'll get to in a second. Um, but I was trying here to hold together every single position. I don't really like giving up on positions as colonials unless it's like one of the 1 dot colonies where you kind of have to in some of them, like Macau or Formosa, for example.
Yeah, those are usually gone. Anyways.
Yeah. Um, that's a long rambling way to say there's not I'm kind of static in this area for the moment and kind of thinking about what to do next. Now, we'll start in South America. We'll start in South America. This is pretty static. I remember asking you to build this army in Parmurbo. I think I asked you to build this, right? I definitely did.
I don't remember if that was on your request or not.
I
I
have
do
a
know I wanted
Actually
that
no.
army for my own reasons as well.
This fleet was definitely my request. The army, I forget right
Yeah,
now, because this is anti-France definitely. And I prefer the
yeah,
army to the fleet because it can come down here, kind of. And even though that makes a stab on me kind of easier, it also means you can backfill in if we go south. And my
yeah.
my analysis here is that you stabbing me is extremely unlikely and a really, really bad idea. Because the moment you do it,
Yeah.
the
My
moment
analysis is pretty much the same thing at this point.
exactly, yeah, the moment you stab me in this position, that's gone, um, and that's gone. And also your Indonesian position gets thrown into jeopardy because any stab on me in this position will give me some leeway to drop a fleet in here or in Halmahera Sea and cause you problems. So my analysis here and my builds reflect the fact that I see you as basically guaranteed to work with me. We'll see if that
Yeah, that's a
turns
good way to
out
put it.
true or not, but that's my view. I think that we have there's basically no reason for you to stab me. It would be a really bad idea. and I think that you're quite good, so I don't think you're gonna do that. Now go to the Caribbean.
Yep.
England built a fleet in Antigua. This is a good idea because you gotta keep
Hate it.
this position.
You really don't. You just give it to a Dutch,
You would
Any
say that.
British players could just do that, and I would be very happy if England decided to just hand it over.
Yes. Now you'll also notice that there was a build in Belize, specifically an army in Belize.
There
Now,
it is.
I am not sure what the thought process behind an army in Belize is, because you don't make any progress ever with it. All you do is signal to Spain that you want to fight forever. And that's like and conceptually here's the problem, right? Is England is in a bad position. England has just if I recall correctly, England just stabbed France, but like didn't take any dots doing it. So they just covered their own centers and refused and broke their deal to support France like this and this and this. So as England here, you ideally want to be making friends, not foes, because you never know if France and Netherlands are going to team up again. If France and Netherlands do team up again, then you're going to be in a very bad spot in like the Caribbean here, in North America, and in the Caribbean here because of this pressure France will apply to you. So as England here, I would be looking for peace. And if and the thing is that if Spain wants like I'm trying to conceptualize or like, think of how to say this. Spain has no clean way of taking Belize, even if you don't build a unit there, because you can either and it's a gamble for Spain. Either you're supporting hold like this, in which case this plan doesn't work to get into Belize. You can bounce like this and then send Havana this way, right? And then in fall you would take it back.
Yeah, just to
Or
you don't have a clean line on it.
yeah, there's no clean line. And I, as Spain, have a very clear, very big, very permanent enemy to my north, and that will keep me from being able to focus at all on England. At the same time, if England was paying attention, he would have noticed that I just stabbed France and Italy. So France actually is not really my friend right now. The calculus for England, therefore, and England should also notice that I'm allied to the Netherlands quite strongly. The entire calculus, in my opinion, supports the idea that it's a good time to work with Spain. Like, I
You
can
would think.
I can do
You would
this.
think.
A Spanish fleet in Caribbean Sea is huge for preventing France from doing anything in the Caribbean to England, right? Because you drop this fleet
Hmm.
here, and France is like paralyzed because,
Yeah,
like,
France can't do anything.
it's death. Um, in fact, as England, I think I would concede Belize just for this utility alone. Not only because it's good against France, but because if the Dutch went to stab him, having me on side and having my fleets, right? Because if I do this and I do this, like my fleets are completely out of the way. England is just safe, right? Like there's no line of attack. I mean,
Yeah,
you
but
sacrifice your
the
center, but
person that talked to him last wasn't you.
yes, the person who talked to England last in this phase was Shoshone. And Shoshone said, "Hey England, if you build an army in Belize, you can technically get Mexico City. If Spain leaves Gulf of Mexico uncovered and doesn't build there.
Exactly.
So you'll never believe what England decided to do.
Was the army up north too in
Yeah,
Jamestown?
Army Jamestown. I can understand that. I get that. Right?
Yeah.
This is reasonable.
Army believes just instant war.
The Army Belize Instant War. Army Jamestown actually very reasonable. Army Jamestown I had pushed for because what we can do with Army Jamestown is if we set up like a Spain, England, Netherlands alliance, then England and I can just hold back the regionals indefinitely here. I stack up the armies on the border. I drop this fleet back into Gulf of Mexico. I pull this army up into Saltillo, and I pull fleets in from NPO to Berlanga Ridge, and we get a line here. The regionals cannot cross it. And so what will inevitably happen is either Ute will push their armies too far forward, say they get into Karankawa and Kato, but they don't get any further ever. In which case, Athabasca has an enormous opening to stab him, right? Like he gets his fleets out here, Maybe he pushes into Berlanga Ridge, but I pull back to Mexico City and Sea of Cortez or Guatemala Basin. He gets units way too far forward, and Athabasca gets like a couple of builds off of like Inuit and France, and then just walks in and kills him, and we have no more pressure on our position for a couple of years. Um, or what happens is Uchishone sees that this line's not crossable, abandons it early, and stabs Athabasca, in which case, same thing, no pressure on our lines for a couple of years. In fact, we get gains in either scenario because as I would push back up, England can, either England can push for some French gains, like by going up like this into Fort Detroit, which is kind of wonky but doable, or England can
Yeah.
just say, "Hey, I would like Cherokee." And Spain, in exchange, you're going to be taking Apache and Nueva Vizcaya, and I will not be stabbing you in the back for like Catawba or St. Augustine. There's a lot.
I
There's a
kind of
lot of
like that line slightly better because England can get into like the Great Plains
yeah,
and help you out a lot there if they get in.
yeah. This line is obviously better for England, unless you guys are making big progress this way. In which case, maybe England gets to Ville Marie and Fort Detroit, and then like surrounds you and has leverage. But I mean, that's English choice really. The key
Yeah,
is
there'll
that
be at least a year for that to happen.
that's very workable. It's a lot of workable stuff because England can see that Ooch stabbed me at least once, if not twice, based on moves. England can see I stabbed France over here, and England can see that you and I are great friends. But like you said, Ooch Shoshone talked to England last, and so he sells him on this dumb idea of army Belize.
And
The,
he buys it.
yes,
Hook, line, and sinker.
yes. Now I
This will
would,
be a running theme.
mhm. Now I would say that it's not the worst build in the world, except it kind of is because England has several other options for builds. Those are Cormanton. Army here, you get
Nah,
good momentum in Africa because, I mean, I don't see him stabbing you with this because you don't get anything out of that. But what England
true.
does do here is you probably push Ouagadougou up to Jen and pull Cormanton up to Ouagadougou. You get some pressure on Debussa at some point. In the next year, you can build like an army or like probably a fleet in Cormanton and push this way up the coast, and you get a really good African position. So a
Yeah,
build there would
that'd
be
work.
key. You can get, if you want, a fleet in Oxford. This sets up a pretty decent attack or defense against Sweden, depending on how much he trusts you and what this Southern Bite Fleet's doing. But, like, for example, what you can do is you support yourself in the North Sea with this. You move York up to Edinburgh. You pull. Let's see. It's kind of difficult, actually, right? No, actually, it's really easy because you pull that fleet there. You push that fleet in here, and then
Yeah,
you
he's
and
got
then and
so many
then
fleets there.
And then you drive this fleet from North Sea to Nordajar and you backfill with York. And then you have this impenetrable line of fleets, and you can start to convoy armies over into Sweden at your leisure. So it's actually a pretty good
Yeah,
attack. Um, or you can put a fleet in St. John's, which gives you the option to pop it out here to Placentia Bay and apply real pressure to France right there, while still defending yourself in Nescapi and making your position pretty untouchable. Because say France, like even if France pops a fleet out to Esquimalt Channel, you just bounce. You have a fleet here to go there and do this, and then your fleet in Newfoundland Banks just bounces out of St. Anthony, and you're fine. I mean, maybe you lose Nescapi to Inuit, but a smart Inuit is going to actually make peace with you here and focus on France because France is right there. That's at least my 2 cents. I mean, maybe Inuit does attack you, but it would feel pretty short sighted to me.
yeah, I would do France here, or anyone is at war with Atha, which I think they're not winning at least.
No,
I
they're
don't think
they're
they've
losing,
lost anything yet.
but like if England is opposing
Yeah,
Athabasca by working with me, then it becomes much more natural in that sense as well. There are a lot of options for
yeah,
England's
you could
position
do
here.
that.
I see England's position as decent. It's not the best among colonials. Actually, maybe it is the best among colonials. Honestly, at this point, I think it might be.
It's either that or Portugal.
Yeah, maybe Portugal. I guess Portugal's the best. I think England might have the second best colonial position here because none of the regionals have decided to kill themselves on his sword,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
like some
that's.
have with us.
Yeah, it's a lot of death wars here.
Yes, but instead of Army Belize, this is pretty much Death War. I spent a lot of effort in the builds phase, trying to convince England either to hold this army or like to convoy it out, or to do something else other than go this way. Because if again, I tell England this explicitly, England, if you go to Yucatan, I'm just going to toss this whole position to you, Shoshone. I don't care. Um, because if England is moving this army against me, this is hostile anyways, and I would rather have a weaker England because then maybe I can like snipe Belize and make something out of this position in the Caribbean when North America mainland obviously is lost anyways. Um, and we'll see if that line of argument works with England. I do pursue it to pretty late in the phase. I wait a day before I talk to England about this. So you'll see in moves whether that works out or not, and how funny that is, if it is funny, in fact, because it might not be funny. England might just attack me here.
Who
Um,
knows? What England does is anyone's guess, really.
yes. Also, my standing offer to Aymara on the table is that if he gives me back Lima, we'll have peace. And his reply is, if you support me into Madeira, then I'll give you back Lima, not this year, but next year. And
Sure.
I definitely believe that. Yeah, yeah. I definitely believe that that's definitely what Aymara's going to do after he attacked me off the bat in year one. I,
Definitely would not push further for further north for sure, 100%.
he'd totally be satisfied with this arrangement.
Yeah, just trust him.
Hmm. So, anyways, I have two fleets here, so we'll see. But I do not have high
Yeah,
hopes for my relationship with Aymara, which has been the case ever since Spring '01, when their moves were like this.
just immediate stab.
Yes. So life. That's life for Spain. How's
Mhm.
life for Salt? How's life for the Dutch?
So at the start of this phase in the winter, I was feeling okay. France did attack me, which kind of threw my whole game plan up until that point just completely out the window.
Hmm.
But at least I knew why France stabbed me. I can't really blame them for doing that when England was like offering them like the entire world. Um, I was pretty happy with getting Britain to like flip and kind of join my side against France. But the fact that France didn't actually stab them like I thought that they would,
Hmm.
kind of throws a whole wrench into the works of that. So,
It does. I will say
me
that
and
I was gonna interrupt and say that does kind of impact our credibility that we told England all phase that he was about to be stabbed by France and that France did what was
yeah,
planned. But at least
yeah, it does.
in my view at this point, it should be too late for England to go back to France, at least for a year. But we'll see. It depends on when
It
France talks to
should
him.
be. I would hope so. I really did think that like what France would do was just dot both of us. He could have like I think it was like 5 dots off of me if England had given him the supports promised, and then like he had another few units like right next to the British cores. Like he could have done both of those and gone like +10 or something. So
Mm,
like if I were France, at least that's what I would have done. That's kind of like why I was selling England that. The other part is the only way I could have gotten England to turn around was if he thought France was going to attack him. So great that he turned around. Bad that uh, I've been basically proven wrong about France here. So
mhm,
if England just feels like really bad about going back like on his word against France, like wants to fall back in and work with France, then there's not a ton I can do. On the other hand, England has proved himself to not be reliable to France. So like if I could get a deal going with France, then I can turn that around on Britain. And like due to kind of how England has acted like that past year and with the throw offer, France is still kind of where I would prefer to work with if I can. Um,
mhm.
so like that's like my main negotiations right now. I'm still trying to get England to stay on my side so they don't like join France. but I am trying to work out some kind of deal with the France to like get it like my actual push going. Originally, we planned to start England year 2. It's the start of year 3 now, so we're a little delayed. But if we get started on that soon, then it won't really hurt us in the long run. I think we're still hovering up at the top of the scoreboard, so
Yeah.
we haven't lost that much tempo yet.
Keyword yet.
Yet. Over to Europe. Europe's not great. Austria did dot me, but like I pretty much knew they were going to. They straight up told me they would. So I'm not surprised about that.
Luxon moment.
I'm hoping this means, yeah, I mean, Luxon will do what Luxon does best. I don't think Austria would tax me further in this position because they literally don't get anything off of me. If there's an Austria-France fight, then that is absolutely what saves the position here. I can like get those French armies focused somewhere else. I mean, who I side with depends on the Britain debacle going in my way. I think I'd prefer Austria to see more success than France here. But either way, just the act of getting them to fight is what I'm trying to do right now, and I think it'll happen, but I'm not completely sure. Poland and Sweden both stabbed me to kick me out of Kiel. Neither of them has that much position to do anything more to me. Poland literally can't. Sweden can go to Wadden Sea, but it's a bit of an over stretch for them. And I think Sweden's at war with the Poland here, so
This
I
fleet would
think it's just like
suggest, yeah. Also, that
it
convoy.
has to be.
That convoy actually
Yeah,
does, yeah.
yeah, they did. So I guess probably just a dot for Kiel. Don't know why Poland supported Sweden in. But like, yeah, I don't think Sweden will like actually go after the rest of my dots. So I only really need to worry about England and France, but I do have 3 dots to their like 12 combined or something like that.
It's not ideal.
So still not, yeah, still not the best situation to be in there. But they fight and everyone's too busy to fight me and I'm doing all right. Um, North America kind of explains itself, I think. Same stuff with England and France.
Yeah, this is, what is
Yeah.
this? These are like the troops in like the Führer bunker, and it's like, you're just, you're just kind of holding out.
There's really nothing to do here except support, hold, and hope people just go around me until my position is like less surrounded.
Steiner's counterattack will save
But
you, Salt.
yeah, like I can't even like trade it away because I literally don't have anywhere to go to like get away from my cores, like allow somebody to walk in. That's how bad this position is.
It could be worse.
It could be worse.
It could have been traded away.
Caribbean's slightly better. I am kind of at the mercy of France here. England has 3 fleets around, so I can't really afford to not trust France in this position. The army in Palermo is like mostly insurance against France. I do want to work with France, but we are like at war as of fall last year, so I do need to like have some stuff in position to go after them. And if I am at war with France, then like hopefully England can back me up on that front. And like likely will end up happening is like I take these French centers in South America, and I'll probably trade away the stuff up north just to get England like properly into that fight with the France.
Sounds about right.
Um, yeah, a bit further in South America, Portugal has stabbed me. I did technically agree to give them that dot in South America. It was more like they forced my hand, but at the same time, I can't really afford to fight Portugal right now. On top of Aymara and the stuff going down with France and Britain. So I kind of agree to give Portugal São Sebastião and Mordstad, and that's exchange for their help in Asia. Um, Notably, they did stab on that deal. They tried to deny me the dot over in Asia, but they disbanded the fleet there, so they're holding up there and now after I caught them out on it.
Mm.
So at least that's kind of going. I keep trying to tell Portugal that Guarani is like about to attack them like any like phase now. And I don't know if they really believe me because I keep pushing north. So
No, I'm sure that the building of the fleet here instead of here is just a friendship move.
I'm sure. I hope Portugal sees that and thinks the same thing.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's not great. At this point, I just kind of want Guarani to stab them and like win, so I don't have to deal with Portugal just randomly deciding to take my dots anymore because it's kind of annoying. But at this point, I really cannot afford to like fight another colonial if I don't have to. Aymar is annoying. I don't like being in Madeira because it just kind of forces me to like sit here on this front and just support hold. I can't really move anywhere off of this.
You just sit here basically
Um,
indefinitely until or unless Mapuche and or
yeah,
Gormani stab into Aymara.
yeah. There's like four like Imar has like four different units on that front, so we really need like every unit to support hold that, or it's just gone, which isn't great.
It's great for
Imar is
me.
trying to encourage me to I'm sure it is. I'm not super thrilled about it, but I can't really. I mean, a dot's a dot, and at
Dot's
this
a dot.
point, if I just have
And
to support hold and sit there on it, it's fine.
like I think both you and I know that the moment the moment Aymara breaks through here, it goes up, it goes here, and then it goes around through here, and we both just die.
Yeah, like Imar wants me to move that unit to Goiás to deal with Portugal, but I think if I did that, I'd just be fighting both Portugal and Aymara, which like I am losing these dots to Portugal regardless of if I move to like defend them or or, or not. So at this point, I'm just gonna take the loss and hold what I actually can. It's not great, but if I can build up the position back up a bit, I can just come back for these dots later. And Portugal should be dealing with a Guarani then, so it should be okay.
Mhm.
Over in Africa, Africa's not great. Abbey and Congo are like firmly aligned together, which would have been fine if Abby had at any point told me that they were working with Congo. I really don't get the why they wouldn't like at least hint at it to me because like we had this whole like early game plan just like coalition Congo, which Abby was a part of. At any point, Abby could have told me, "Hey, I don't want to stab Congo," and I would have just not done it. Um, but instead they didn't. So I stabbed Congo. They stabbed me for one dot, which really just they cannot hold ever. Like there's been they just said like they'll just let me take it back because like they have no other choice. But it's just like really annoying to uh deal with and kind of just hurts the war effort here.
Ideally, you want to keep the dots you
Azron,
take as well.
yeah, yeah. And this is part of the reason why I want to keep Portugal kind of on my side here because they're the only real power that can help me with Congo at the moment. Azron is getting pressed in from pretty much every single side, so they're kind of out. So it's really up to just Portugal if I can get the help I need against Congo or not. So I'm just trying to stay friends there.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, with the Ottomans are kind of interesting. I don't see her as like my real neighbor still. I think she'll be more busy dealing with the West Africa stuff and like the colonials there. I'm pretty sure like her relationship with Poland is not the greatest, so I think she'll try to stab for Djinn. And if she does that, I'll just leave her alone. I don't have any intentions of going north here.
Makes
And
sense.
hopefully Britain will help me out and be my friend in case she does decide to go south for some reason. Over in Asia, things are looking slightly better. Portugal did disband Flores. They were only minus one, so like Timor Sea is still around, but they're telling me Timor Sea is going to go to the Indian Ocean, and I believe them on that, so it should be fine. And then just me against Puche here, who is bringing more and more fleets in. But Puche has like straight up told me that they're not really focusing on South America much, they're just trying to focus on like colonizing as many places as they can, which means that they're going to fight me pretty much guaranteed. There's not a ton I can really do about it. Um, I like they're feeding me some lines about like, oh, if we work together, we can like expand to like uh yeah, that way towards like
Yep.
Madagascar, but there's just no way that's going to work. I don't believe it for a second. And I'm kind of like nodding my head in the chat, but I'm not committing to any moves in that direction until I see Mapuche actually go that way, and I don't think they ever will. So I have to keep like a permanent guard here in case they or when they go north. I would like to crush it, but with everything else going on, I just don't have the abilities to really do that.
The most you can do is like kind of move this unit here and then like support hold Coral Sea or something.
Yeah, and like Batavia goes down to like Timor Sea, just hold that
Yeah,
position
or like
there.
retreat this way maybe and then self bounce here.
Yeah, like the good thing is Mapuche doesn't have a whole lot of builds either, so it's kind of a even fight.
But look what their build
But
was.
yeah, he's just gonna keep sending more and more stuff there until eventually he either breaks me or somebody stabs him in South America, and he has to
It'll be Bagurani.
take a few fleets off.
It
Yeah,
won't be Aymara.
no, it'll definitely be Guarani, and I don't know if he sees it, but Guarani has moved down to Argentine Basin. If you'll note, that's a free Falklands, so I wonder what'll happen there.
Hmm.
So I'm hopeful that that move will fix the Mapuche problem. I've been talking to Guarani quite a bit about it. Um, Basically, the idea is I'm telling the Guarani that I'm not going to make a move on Ma, Mapuche until they do. And what Guarani wants me to do is like send the South Atlantic fleet over to South Pacific, and I don't want to commit to that until I see a move from them. But they don't want to stab until like fall, and they want me to make a move in the spring, and then maybe they'll attack in fall. That doesn't really work for me because then I could just be like alone against Puche. So I'd rather not take that gamble. It's kind of my thought process here.
Yeah.
Plus, the South Atlantic Fleet needs to help against Congo because I'm in a death war against them. So, gotta deal
Fun.
with that. Yep. Back to Asia. I'm still kind of at war with Ezio this phase, though. I remember we both talked about making peace together because we weren't really making a ton of progress
We've
here, and
basically
Japan was
lost.
more pressing.
We basically lost to
Yeah,
Aymara, or not lost, but this is as far as we will get against Ayutthaya, unless we like really hard commit like this, and like manage to backfill. But even then, we lose Andaman Islands, and then there's pressure applied to Sumatra, and it's
yeah,
just not very good.
yeah. I already lost the dot to them, and at that point, it's not really worth it. And without like a clear Ming or Bugles around to provide a lot of pressure that way. There's really not a lot that we can do, and we do have a war with the Tokugawa going on right now. So, like you need to pivot fleets there, and I can just lay off a little bit and send fleets south towards the inevitable fight over Australia. That's kind of my plan, at least.
Yeah,
And with Tokugawa, things aren't looking great for me. I lost Ryukyu because the tactics were not great on my end.
it
I
happens.
don't think I will get that back.
It would be unlikely, but not impossible. But, it would require
Yeah,
this
I
fleet to go
mean,
this way, and then I can cut and you can take it back. Problem is,
yeah.
this fleet is
Problem is,
always
I
a
don't think
wild
that's gonna
card.
happen. Yeah, like there's like a low chance, but I'm kind of just writing off these two fleets, and like they'll stay around and earn some points with you by supporting you wherever you need to go. But I'm not like invested in this area
The way I would see it
after losing that dot.
is that as long as you are propping up this like kind of barrier here, ideally barrier, if we can drive this fleet back out or something, as long as there's this barrier
Mhm.
here that we're holding against Tokugawa, I can never stab you. So this makes your north completely secure in that sense.
Yeah,
And also, we're doing a service to the board by preventing Tokugawa from starting to do this and like really spread
yeah.
out.
Like the way I see it, we've kind of accidentally set up this position where I can't attack you because of South America, because I'm in Madeira, and if I stab you there, then my position just dies, and you can't stab me because if you do, then your position in here just dies.
Yes, although this is one of my favorite types of alliances because it like in my view here, there's just never going to be. I don't need to worry. I don't need to calculate like is Salt going to stab me here? Is this a good position for the Dutch to stab me? Because the answer basically
Yeah,
always is no. It's like if you stab me here, you lose not just Formosa, you get like I was saying earlier, you get pressure applied from me here, and this entire South American position just collapses.
yeah. The line just isn't good for either of us,
Yes, and it
which
means I
is
can
really
trust
nice
you.
that it's like the one player I don't have to constantly press every face and not give me to not attack me.
Yeah,
So having that kind of chill alliance in this game especially is just really nice. One less thing to worry about at least. That's kind of
exactly.
my position though. I think that's everything I covered.
All right. Well then, there shall be moves.
We love moves.
It only took 43 minutes. Okay, let's go east to west. So we have some pretty agreed upon easy tactics here. This is actually basically the best case scenario for me dealing with Tokugawa, where they filled Halmahera Sea anyways. So this fleet has to retreat back out here. This one is not so much a problem for me anymore, although this does become an issue for you.
Yeah.
Not much to be done about that. And this entire thing is stalled, which means this line actually becomes much more holdable now. The only issue on our end is that Portugal has decided for some reason. Oh, I just clicked back. There we go, forward. For some reason, Portugal has decided that this is like a good line, and I'm not entirely sure what their thinking is here.
Uh, I'm sure I Utaya likes it.
Yeah, because like if Portugal had just
Just
stayed put, then this would be
yeah,
easily
free
holdable.
dot.
Yeah. Um,
That's always fun to see.
although as
Yeah,
a result,
Portugal just hasn't worked with us this game for whatever reason.
I mean, he like kind of worked with me here. This is all planned out, right? But
Yeah.
I say this is all planned out. This I'm not a big fan of. Actually, no. This is planned. This is a arranged trade
Okay, are you
Canaries
trading that?
or yeah. Although
Gotcha.
I could have just refused to trade in this position and moved this army west, but as you can see, I actually decide. We'll get to that later, but you get the
Was
idea.
bouncing robot planned? Or is
Yes,
that Okay.
Long story short, this was to make sure that it was not advantageous for me to knife him in like this direction.
Oh, okay. I see.
But yes, well, tactical nuances aside, later.
Yeah, we can get to that.
I also here make a deal with Ezio because I want to cover Zamboanga and make sure that my bases are covered west. So my deal to him basically is that at any point he has like a card he can cash in to get my support into a center. In exchange for this fleet, he has moved here, not taking Kodabatu. I think that happens now. I think
Yeah, that's a fair way to do it.
that either happens now or it happens in the next season. But I'm conceding to Ezio that I have wronged him by doing this, and that he should not wrong me back.
Yep,
Although I will admit
makes sense.
that it happened after I typed a few angry paragraphs to him and threatened the death war.
We have been a little unpleasant to Ezio this game
He did
so
propose a
far.
he did propose a triple and then got immediately knifed on it after he didn't build in enough fleets to fight us.
Yeah.
But it's worked out decently, you know?
That's kind of I will take most of the blame for that, but maybe
It
it's
was
not like
basically your fault. You were like,
yeah,
"KOP, we're attacking Ayutthaya," and I'm like, fine."
it's never too late to be friends. Like I'm sure Ezio will just be willing to forgive us here.
Bygones be bygones.
Yeah, he won't mind, I'm
Mhm.
sure.
Yes. So we also see as I go to Europe, I decide to stab Ottomans because I just don't trust Cass that much. The problem is
Fair
that
enough.
the problem is that in this position, which I should have picked up on at the time, is that I hedge way too much versus Portugal here. This fleet should have gone to Tunis. Um, that's just this was me in some sense assuming that Cass would stab me here. I just the vibes were off basically. I thought I was going to see
Yeah,
something like this, and then I'd have to like cut like four. Like, I don't know. I mean, even if I
corner
expected that, I should
layers
have.
feels off.
I mean, this I don't think this
Yeah.
is bad because I mean, I guess I could go up here and cover that, but I don't. I think the more
Are you
wasteful move
coring
is
just
this
like
here.
as a way to keep the fleet where it is, or are you coring because you want the spot to build there?
A little bit of both. This lets me build east easier, which is nice, but it also means that I can kind of keep this fleet here to defend myself in case like France drops down here or I don't know. Is this move set I think was just suboptimal for me in hindsight. I really, really
Okay.
needed to hold this army here and do that. Oh wait, never mind. I'm stupid. My characterization of this moveset has been completely wrong because I forgot that this was agreed to between Cass and I. We had some weird deal where we were going to convoy my army up or something. And
Oh, that's interesting. I
yeah,
kind of like that move too.
I forgot about that completely in hindsight. Because it just sounds so odd to me given what happened earlier and later in this game. But
Yeah,
I wasn't happy
and if
with
you get
Luxon.
in Rome, like Luxon is kind of really pressed between
Well, you
both
get
of
the
you, and I think is he at war with Poland?
yeah. Well, the thing is, what happens is you get like you get into Rome, and then I can force up the fleets up here and take Florence, and it's a decent line. The only problem is I have an
Yeah.
absolutely brutal stab on Ottomans here that I could have taken. Right, I could have. I mean, brutal. It's two dots. It's Tripoli and Sicily.
I
But
mean, at this point, that's brutal
but
enough
but at the same
for
time, she
the
would have lost
Ottomans.
either Sarajevo or Naples and would have been driven back to here or like here, and it's completely untenable. Um, and I really should have considered that because if I had done that in this position, I think her position would have maybe collapsed.
Probably.
Yes, although that wouldn't have helped my
We'll talk
aims.
about that.
Why?
Yeah.
But like I don't know. This is just me. That's just me talking.
No, we can get to that later.
Yeah, but this is kind of a floundering position in retrospect where I really should have done something. Either the previous season in spring I should have knifed Portugal in builds, or here in fall I probably should have knifed Ottomans again, even if it would have been permanent war. and I did neither.
Yeah.
This is yeah. So um, improvements to be made on in every game. We'll go to South America, where we have the pretty typical nothing ever happens. We just
I love the holds. It's
yeah,
so fun.
it's just nothing happens. Portugal support holds Nakugu for some reason. I like what?
It
I mean,
just
I
I
guess
don't know what Portugal is doing in this area
well,
ever. None of their moves
well this
make
is
sense to me.
well this is clearly a range with Guarani, right? But
Either that or Guarani is just trying to tap it
to
without actually moving. I really don't know.
well,
Cause like I don't know what tapping this unit does.
you want to ensure that they can't. Sorry, you want to ensure that this move set does not happen. But
I guess,
hear me out. If
yeah.
you want to be productive with these armies, what you do instead, hear me out.
Just like throw support.
Just
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
just run this
That'll do it.
run this stab. You get 2 dots out of Aymara, right? And you can use this fleet and this army to cover your ass, and you're completely
Look,
fine. Aymara just dies.
my issue with the Guarani move set here is that they have 3 options, all of them which are like pretty good for them. They can stab Portugal, stab Aymara, or stab Mapuche.
Yeah.
They have lines for all 3 of them. They don't seem to be doing any of them. So like all
Yes.
their armies, like they're moving, but like if you look at the map, they're not moving to anywhere they can make progress in.
Yes. And I think this is a common shortcoming of some of the players who they like to look long term, but a lot of times they only really look at relationships and not at the board generally. Because my thought as Guarani here is, how do I break out of the box? And if you got to break out of the box of Guarani, you need to collapse ideally 2 of your neighbors, right? You want to slam in slam in the door on 2 of Mapuche, Amara, Portugal. How do you do that in this position? Well, here's what I would do. I think, and maybe obviously I'm biased. I played Spain in this game. I'm going to be biased. I'm going to want you to help Spain. But what you can do here, if you want, and I think the easiest way to break out is to do this move set, kind of shoving into Aymara. You can get this stab easily because Aymara's not going to expect it. They're going to think you're going to do dumbass bullshit like you have all game, and you move all your troops up in this direction. This allows you both to have a good line against Portugal still. You can defend against Mapuche still. You can earn their trust by backing off of this stab like you did. But you apply this ton of pressure to Aymara, which will collapse Aymara within 1 or 2 years. That collapse of Aymara actually is extremely good for your position in the long term. Because what it will do is it will give me as Spain the space to come down and get some centers and to, get my position in a much better spot, which will give me builds. Builds will give me the ability either to build in Spain or to threaten to build in Spain. In the short term, it's going to be threatened to build there. In the long run, it will be to actually build there. That means that in the short run, Portugal will not be able to build here and stab me effectively, right? Because if they do this, I might build like a fleet in Gibraltar, and then there's no stab to be had at all. And that limits Portuguese growth, which means their South American colony is going to be weaker as a result. Right, like this, weaker. That means
Yeah,
it will be easier to take over South America in the long term, which you'll have a better shot at doing because you moved your unit towards them instead of convoying to Charrua for some reason, right? Additionally,
so
collapsing Aymara gives Netherlands room to maneuver in kind of this idea, right? Where you maybe get Netherlands into Nokugu, and then there's more pressure applied to Portugal. I think that this is just the best move for Guarani at this point in the game.
yeah, from what I can understand from what Grani's trying to do, and like this is a player I played with a lot before, Ambrosius, very good, won quite a few games if I remember right. But yeah, he's one of the better players in this game. But from what I understand, he wants Aymara around like a relatively good position to like hedge against you and me, which we're clearly allied at this point.
I
We've
mean,
kind
we
of
have
been
to be.
forced to ally together. Like either way, no matter how we got to this point, like we are clearly like working together. Like I can see him wanting Aymar around, kind of like hedge against that, where like he doesn't have to deal with us directly. And then for Portugal and Mapuche, what he's doing is he's trying to get them. He's trying to get them to like commit themselves in the other direction before he goes in for that kill. And like for both of those powers, the other direction is going to be me. Like he's doing this in two ways. He's trying to get both powers to attack me, and he's trying to get me to make an attack on them at the same time. As long as one of those routes goes through, whether like for example Portugal, whether Portugal attacks me or whether I attack them, either way, war happens. They're sending units towards me. It was away from the border, and that's when he can move in to attack. There were a few problems with this. Mostly, the first problem is that I know that he's doing this and that I can see through it because I've done this plenty of games. I am fully aware of how this works. I'm not going to be. I'm not that easy to bait into a war. Like
You weren't born
he's been
yesterday.
trying. Yeah, I know what's going on here. Like I know uh like he's trying clearly to just use me as like as a sort of like bait, so his stabs get a lot cleaner, which like I don't begrudge him that, because like it is just good play, but it isn't really build friends, and it just kind of makes me frustrated because at this point I'm really trying to get him. Like we are like natural allies at this point. We have three neighbors that we all share. He has to stab one of them. We should be working together against at least one of these guys, right?
Yeah.
Instead, um, and I think he's like one of the types of players that like when he stabs someone, he wants it to be like a complete kill where they cannot recover from that stab at all. Where like you stab once and that player's just not out like forever, which like is a good way to
Yeah.
play, but I think
I
it's showing its weaknesses here
I will be the
because
first
you
person to
need to
tell
focus on
you
short term.
I'll be the first person to tell you that the brutal immediate stabs are really satisfying and are, if you can set it up, it's some of the best stabs you'll get. But if you can stab that up is doing a lot of the work here. In this type of game, you are not going to get one of the brutal kill shot stabs on any player unless you are quite lucky, right? So, against England, you could manage it against England. No offense, Ironside, I just think you could. You could do a brutal killing stab on any like if you had enough people, you can do it on Ayutthaya. You get Mughals and Ming together and me and Spain together, Ayutthaya just dies, right? But you're not going
Yeah,
to get those types of stabs on Mapuche because positionally you don't have a stab on Mapuche because you don't get like if there's just no setup like tactically here. Like say
no,
you
like
even if you somehow get
Mapuche is.
yeah
Sorry, go on.
I was gonna say, even if you get Mapuche to accept you having armies here, here, and here, still, you even if you move them all forward, you still are never gonna have a stab here because Mapuche has all these armies. It's just never gonna happen, right? So you can't bank on that. Against
Yeah,
Portugal, the only route you have to this, given the position, is to get a couple of fleets in the South Atlantic. Problem is, Portugal has eyes. So he's going to see this, and even if you force your way into Guanabara Bay and get into the Bay of Paranagua, the most you get is like Sao Paulo, and then this fleet retreats either it retreats into Rio de Janeiro, in which case you're happy, or it retreats into the South Atlantic, in which case you have to cover your entire coastline against him for like a year at least, maybe two. There's just there's no easy stab, and you cannot look to set that up in a game like this, especially as Guarani, where it's going to, by nature, be a bit more slow, a bit more grinding. You're going to have to play it out. That's kind of what I was doing myself in South America, where there's never going to be a kill shot on Aymara for me, and I can't work to set that up. I all I can do is grind up against him, force him to commit to me, and then, you know, work with other people to see if, you can get the collapsing shot in here. It's a different situation to
Yeah.
Guarani, but it's the right mindset for this game, I think.
Yeah, like every player here has been through so many games. Like they're not gonna be convinced to like send their armies away and like clear off the border. Everybody here like knows to keep something close by. Everyone's sort of like committed to a fight except for Guarani. And everyone in this region sees that Guarani hasn't really committed to a proper fight yet, and so they're moving to to defend the border they have with Guarani, because if somebody hasn't committed to a fight with them, then like they might stab them. Like you might be the actual target of that. It's like Portugal doesn't trust Guarani. They're like self-bouncing here. Their support holding, and that's because Guarani has not committed to a fight yet. They have 4 units on this border with Portugal. Portugal isn't going to go away from this border until they see Guarani like commit somewhere else. Aymara has a bit of a different situation because they're just so heavily committed north, but they probably have like a lot more like a diplomatic assurances because they're fighting like the two big scary colonials in the area, and their front line with Guarani is just a bit less than what other powers have. And Mapuche isn't even trying to expand in a South America at all, but they still have 3 different armies just dedicated to guarding this little area between them and Guarani.
Mhm.
And like with this kind of situation, like if you want that kill shot, like you need to like sucker somebody in to like just moving completely away from you, giving you that space to like just walk in, and
Although
nobody here is gonna do that.
I'll note you did manage it with one of these powers. There is one person you did it to who you could just kill. Like, this is murderous. If you I will be clear. If Guarani, takes the gamble, moves like this, Aymara dies on the spot. On the spot. Like, there's
It does
no
kill their position, but I think with Guarani's setup, they get like max 2 dots from this in
Look
the
at
year that
these
that
look
they
at
go
these
for it.
2
Yeah,
this year, but it's killer because their position because then they get those 2 dots. Next year, it's Lima, it's Exora, it's probably Licatane because 'cause I'd assume Mapuche will turn on them, right? And it's probably Chapaya as well. And then,
yeah,
there's this and there's this, and that Amara is dead.
yeah. So like the way they're trying to play this, they want they're trying to get me to attack Portugal or Mapuche first, and then they'll let stab and like fall after I commit to that, and that gives them the room to like see the setup after these spring moves, and then decide if they want to actually commit to working with me and attacking the same person, or they'll just leave me out to dry and do whatever they want. That's normally a position I'd be fine with if I were like the larger power in that particular area, and like I could afford to have a kind of junior partner come in and like sweep them in and help me out a little bit. But that's not really the case here.
Mhm.
Like this is like clearly Gorani pushing me to attack first, and I just don't have the position to really afford to take that kind of risk if they'll help me out or not. So what I ended up doing, I told them I would make the move to South Pacific, and I hoped that by telling them that I would do that, that they would stab Mapuche now, and like we both didn't go through with that. Like their move to Argentine from Argentine Basin to SAO. I'm like 9% sure that they knew that this move wouldn't go through, and they just need like a excuse to like keep that fleet around and fall. So then they could decide if they wanted to uh, go in on Mapuche with me, and then it's like completely their choice, and I've already committed to attacking, which is, again, if I were like the larger power and I could afford to take those kinds of risks, normally I would be okay with that kind of thing going on. In this case, with my like, with the colonial situation being so fragile, I really can't take the risk to make this kind of move and just hope that Guarani like supports me. So I'm just not willing to.
Hmm. And that's the eternal paradise that is South America.
Yeah, sometimes you can't get perfect. You just gotta settle for a good enough attack, you know?
Yes. So actually, all of that happened, I think, in the middle of me discussing my moves. Um,
Yeah, I got sidetracked a little bit.
we do that sometimes, but it's good insight, I promise. So as we move into my moves, what we'll see actually is that I managed to get England to mostly agree to chill. Um, I basically told him that if Belize moved towards me, that I would move Bay of Panama into Windward Passage, and this is another reason why England should be seeking peace with Spain. A Spanish fleet right here. This is the dead English Caribbean, dead on arrival, right?
Yep.
If Spain does land there, because the threat is here, the threat is here, and the threat is here. Baracoa, Bahamas Channel, Jamaica. I've played England. That's the one spot you don't want to have a hostile fleet. Your position will just collapse without notice. I mean, the notice is the fleet moving there. So I go to England to hold Belize to organize a bounce in Jamaica. Problem is, England is not willing to commit to helping me hold against the regionals. So it's only a little bit of peace. It's not a big one. It's not a full peace. And I
Yeah.
try to hold it together with England. Now the problem here is that I probably should have just stabbed England here. If he's not going to cooperate with me, like the best move, I think the best move if England is not cooperative is going to be moving in on Belize, exterminating it, giving up Saltillo to Oot, which in this
Building
position
army
with these
Blaze just a
moves,
whole just feels terrible in
well,
this position.
I was the last one to talk to England before moves. I negotiated with him to get this done 20 minutes before moves were due. I kid you not.
I mean, if it works, I wish you'd told Eagle to not attack me though.
I didn't have
We
any
can
say.
talk about that later.
I was just glad to get this out of him.
Yeah, I should just been online like 5 minutes before the phase went through. That's on me.
Yep, skill issue. um, but yeah, this elsewhere the position is okay for me. It's doable. This this move set is the death of my position in North America, because I don't have any decisive move against England. England does not help me hold against the regionals here, and Athabasca does not stab Uchishone at this point. Which I will say, a little bit of this would have been pretty brutal. You
Yeah,
know,
I mean, what, 2, 3 dots he could have gotten?
well, actually,
Oh
what
wow, the Great Plains that unit stabbed.
Yes, this
Like,
attacked me. For the Cherokee's like a terrible dot for Athabasca to have, by the way.
no, because then you will just take it behind you.
Yeah, so you're permanently tied to them. So my position in North America is just dead now. It's like I don't have anything to be done. If I was Athabasca here,
Yeah.
I mean I think Athabasca working with Oot is kind of the right choice, but kind of not. Because progress against Inuit is just so slow as Athabasca, right? Like
I don't really see what you need you around for anymore. Like I guess there's like helping you with like Alaska a
it's
little
it's
bit,
this cut, but like
but if you start building your own fleets, you don't need anymore.
yeah, the
Like they're not
problem
helping you against France.
It's just
I don't know.
it's so mind-breakingly so there's no more progress to be made for Athabasca, like, realistically here. Like, what do? You don't do anything. What I would have done probably is I would have taken this line, right, and bounced this with Ojibwe, right, and pulled Shipeyuan down. Like you see the plan,
Yeah, yeah,
and
this would
then yeah,
work.
out of that you get Shoshone, you get Assiniboine, you
And
get
you
two
set up for
dots.
more.
Yes, and also at the same time, Shoshone doesn't get any other builds, because I mean, I guess no.
Yeah,
Actually, they don't get any other builds because I have Gulf of Mexico here to support hold this line
yeah, like,
holds.
and if they're talking to you, then they know that you isn't getting builds.
Yes,
So it's like the perfect time to attack.
and
Like
you can
they'll go like -2.
and you'll guaranteed have Inuit on side if you do this, like guaranteed,
Yep.
because Oost's been
Yeah.
attacking them all game. So that's what I
Yeah, I
would
mean
have really
that
heavily
that, that would
considered
work.
doing, but he didn't. So that my North American position is dead because of uncooperative England and uncooperative Athabasca. Not much to be done, honestly.
No, that's the death blow.
Depressing, but oh well. So it goes. And now we're actually on to discussing your
Yep.
moves. So we can start over here.
Yeah, I think this went about as planned, aside from that attempted convoy. So like I'm in the south, I'm like setting up against Mapuche here. Um, it's kind of obvious the Timor Sea bounce was not planned, so they're already moving in to attempt to colonize me.
Hmm.
But unfortunately, I got here first, so I'm setting up first. The Solomon Islands moves because I expected the SPO fleet to go there. There's like normally what Mapuche would try to do is like do like a Coral Sea move and a move there, and like that then you can like support yourself in. And that's usually pretty guaranteed. So I'm kind of surprised that went through. But like the backfill to Coral Sea was just in case that move went through. It's like I'm not too upset about it. And like I left Flores for fall because I can. I don't need to.
Hmm.
Like this allows me to bounce with Puche and these sea tiles and take that in fall. So that's probably my best outcome. And like I didn't I kind of expected these bounces to happen just because like a Mapuche playing the colonization game basically has to do this every single time. It's like one of the major downsides of playing that particular game because everyone knows what moves you're going to make before you're even in position to make said moves. I like the second that Mapuche told me that he wanted to like try to colonize the South, I knew that he would make this move. So yeah, I see it coming. I see 3 fleets. I assumed the South Pacific Fleet would be fleet number 3, and I know what's going to come next. So I moved to bounce. These were not agreed on, but I'm not surprised at all to see them.
Yeah.
Toku coming to Home Heresy is like dooms me though, because they have Monado for free in fall. So that's really bad for me. I have to pivot like a few fleets north to deal with that,
Hmm.
um, which sucks. But I did just make peace with Ayutthaya. I agreed to give them Andaman. They had it guaranteed anyways, so
Agreed
not
at
really much to
gunpoint.
give. But yeah, I mean, I agreed to give it to them in like '01 and then didn't. So it's kind of fair. Um, yeah, I try to get the army out through convoy. I was talking to Mugles like convoy against Britain and see if I could like get that over there and like we could work together to stab Britain. Um, didn't work. So that army just gets popped, which like is also fine, but I don't know. It would have been nice to have the army there and maybe get some dots that way.
Yeah.
Um, either way, I'm not too upset about it. Um, yeah, that's Asia planned at least. So like hopefully Ayutthaya is like demilitarized for now. I think they're fighting Mughals, or at least they were fighting Mughals. Looks like they made peace this turn.
Mhm.
But yeah, those fleets go against Mughals, then we're kind of in a good spot. But then moving to Andaman from Bay of Bengal means that I'll probably be tangled with them for a while longer. Though the move to Tunisia maybe means that they'll leave me alone. We'll see.
Happy face.
Yeah, hopefully. Ezzy would never do that to me, I'm sure.
He would never stab us.
No, no. What have we ever done to him besides
Exactly.
everything? On to Africa. Um, so here, like the Abbey Congo alliance is just really brutal to deal with. I really wish I had known about this before. I had to fight both of them at once, but unfortunately, I just didn't. I mean, Adron got like as blindsided about it as I did. I think
Mhm.
I don't know if anyone else on the board really knew this. It just kept like really tight-lipped, and now we're seeing the payoff for it.
I
Which
wish that
isn't
I played
really
Abyssinia that Congo
much.
had done this instead of hug boxing all game with Ageron.
Yeah, yeah, it would have been awesome. I don't really see the payoff here. Like Abby gained 1 dot off me immediately. They can't they're guaranteed to not hold the dot they took off me. So like I don't get the point of this move. Congo's having I mean Congo's not even having that great of a time here. I took Mandar off him. They got Bunyoro off of Ajon. That's really it.
Mhm.
So like this whole front line between me and Congo just doesn't really move. Um,
Well, except for Mendar.
I have yeah, I did get Portugal to help me out with the Congos. Like they're supporting me into Angola basin in the south, which unfortunately doesn't make it in. Like they move on Congo, which unfortunately bounces. But like it is, they are doing something, which is really really nice to see from them. And they are working with Ageron in Madagascar against France, which is amazing.
Mhm.
So I'm really liking Portugal right now. Up in the north, I support Cass to House of States. That's for 2 reasons. I think she sees me as like much more of like a real as a real border than I see her. So like if I'm in Hausa, then she'll pretty much constantly like be thinking about trying to grab it. And she like right when Winter Bills went through, she just asked me for support in, which kind of tells me she's been looking at it for a while. So I think it's maybe somewhat worth it. Just have her here to keep the pressure off of me, so she like won't like just attack me for it. The other reason for that is by stabbing Abby like this, if she's moving in, then like she might stab Abby on the other end, which she doesn't do. So that didn't work. But I was hoping that she would make a move there, and then Abby just would like not mess with me anymore because they
Then
have a
yeah.
bigger issue to deal
Then like
with.
Abby would retreat like this way or this way, and not be a problem.
Yeah, I just wouldn't be able to really support Congo because the Ottomans are such a big threat. Didn't work out though, unfortunately. And England stabs me, and with the way I moved my fleets, I misplayed that one pretty hard. So they actually do get to walk into that dot of mine,
In
unfortunately.
this position, that's probably better.
Yeah,
But it's easy
yeah,
to
and that's
say
what I should have
after
done.
England stabs you.
Yeah, I I I can't remember why I did it this way around. I honestly I don't know why I moved it from Gulf of Guyana, but yeah, that I should have moved it from
Well, you
the
were
other
probably trying
one.
to. I don't know what you were feeling about England, but maybe you wanted to like solidify an alliance with them. But this doesn't really say that.
Yeah. So like this entire phase, I think I was more pro England this phase than I was pro pro France. Like I was trying to, I didn't think Tefra would like flip back to working with me so soon. And like England, I just flipped against Tefra, so I thought I could work with England. And like about a few hours before the phase was like when orders went through, like a bunch of people told me that I could trust France and that England was the one that I needed to be concerned about. I remember you being one of them. I don't. I think it was you. It was Portugal, I think, and maybe Sweden.
Yeah.
But yeah, those three like all messaged me telling me that I should trust the plans I worked on with the France. That France would go like and work with me here. So
Well, I was
I
biased
changed pretty much.
because England built Army Belize, and so I really wanted England dead.
Yeah, I'm like I don't particularly care too much about England or France as long as I'm allied with somebody. But like if I do have a choice, I think with just how England has played so far, that France is my better choice.
Yeah.
So I thought I had the choice this phase, and I went with France, which was a good idea because France kept true to their word and England did not. So we can go to North America now in the
You want
Caribbean.
for North America or Europe
Yeah,
quickly?
yeah, we can do Europe. Let's do Europe. So like France moves completely away from me. This is like all what we agreed on, which is just amazing to see. I would have liked to see some more moves against Austria here.
You would have liked this to be supported
Um,
by this unit, basically.
yeah, I would have liked to see Austria do something against France as well, as Luxon told me he would after I
Did
quote
this.
unquote gave
This.
him Bremen. Luxon does not though. And France isn't doing anything against him either. So
Well,
those two at peace long term is like pretty bad news. I don't know
well,
what the move to Hess is, but like
this is pretty
maybe France
clearly
like misordered
anti-Austria.
this.
It's just that this should have been accompanied by this because then you get one of Freiburg and
Yeah,
Nuremberg. Like it's just a bad order set.
yeah, I guess it is. Yeah, I don't know. I just was rather see it be more successful. I guess
Mhm.
it's like this. Just like Luxon doesn't lose anything off this, and it's still relatively easy to demilitarize. But I mean, I will take France not uh, going after me here, so it's fine.
Yeah.
England does, but everything bounces, so it's not that big of a deal.
Now, can you imagine if England
So
had a
like nothing
fleet in
happens here.
Oxford instead of an army in Belize? Imagine what England might have been able to accomplish with that fleet.
I really wonder what that could have done.
Hmm. No, that would be
It's,
that would be impossible. I don't know.
well, like maybe England would like stop attacking me with like Sweden right there, but who knows,
I
right?
mean, it would have been brutal because you can do exactly what I lined up earlier. You get all the fleets going in his direction. You go up like this. You get that fleet going there, and you line up the convoy
Hmm.
across the Westland, the attack New Christiana, and then you get up the coast.
Yep. And if I was the last person to talk to them, that's what I would have said.
Mhm. But
But oh well.
you unfortunately did not realize this early into the game. That's how England operated.
Hmm. Took me a few more phases for that one. We go to North America. I think that position is
Yeah.
just kind of dies.
Well,
Or no, it lasts for one more turn. Okay. I think no. Okay, I just threw some moves here because I knew like that they wouldn't work and that it didn't. I wasn't getting attacked, but I knew like I can't move anywhere. Like I'm just
mhm.
trapped here. Like I could have gone to Erie, maybe. Like that would have worked, but it doesn't do anything for me. And Oneida would have been open as well. But
Yes.
also doesn't do anything for me because I'm working with France. So nothing happens.
Nothing ever happens.
Just a lot of red.
And then the Caribbean.
And France was nice enough to support me here, but the move to Mode of Passage does not speak well for my future.
Yeah, your longevity would be much more supported if France had done this.
Yeah, like if we were stabbing England, that would probably be the moves I would want to do as France.
Hmm.
But, can't have everything. And then England stabs me in South America. I don't know what this fleet is supposed to do for them.
Like, just move here, buddy.
Yeah, or like
Dot.
support Guadalupe.
Well, you get
I don't
cut,
know.
so
Yeah, I mean,
you just
I don't know what this is supposed to
this
accomplish.
is this is a pointless move. You're never getting anywhere with that.
Yeah,
All you get is a fleet that's way out of the way, accomplishing nothing.
yeah, and Poland also decides that they don't like me in Gulf of Iperia, which is fair, but I don't know where that fleet was supposed to go.
I mean,
So
I think and this core for me, by the way, this was me expecting the move to be holding here and this fleet supporting that
yeah,
build, and I thought I'd be able to core, and then we could get them to do this and fall. At which point we could do this and bamboozle them. But instead, you ran
I
this move set at
never
spring.
we talked about it, but I think we decided not to because I needed to do support France
Yeah,
up
because
to
of this.
Guiana Current.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
I was looking to bamboo because I didn't. I thought this. I think this move set is actually quite stupid. Unless France leaks this to Poland, this is a big gamble. Because if this gamble
yeah.
goes wrong and we're just doing this, Poland's Caribbean position is dead on arrival.
Like England also has some like war tension with Poland and like Africa. Like
Yeah, like,
those English
England could have done
armies, like
this.
in most games, should dot Poland in
If Pol-
Africa.
yeah,
Like they have
Po-
free gens. Like I would have expected as Poland
this
for England just full send.
this is the best move from England here, and this is the best move from England here. If England does the best moves and Poland gets unlucky with this happening, it's -1, -2, -3. But Poland is pretty good at doing press when he wants to be, which he didn't really with me. But
Yeah, me and Poland have been like sort of hostile most of this game. Just like by virtue of me working, not wanting to attack you for Caracas.
yeah, pretty much.
Um, yeah, I decided I didn't like want him in Gulf of Paria either, and he took that personally. So now we're just like in a Cold War, kind of hot, but we're not really friends anymore. And it's
Yeah,
probably not going to change.
and this is
Yeah.
just more of that chaos we were
Um.
talking about between England, France, and Netherlands.
Yep. I can dot Kalina though. That's fun.
Yeah.
But I do have to worry about losing Parmerbo if Poland decides to port Britain in, which
Although,
isn't as great.
we imagine Poland will be doing this instead, like he has half the other rest of the game.
Yeah. Yeah, probably.
Yep.
And the rest of South America, as we said, nothing happens.
Nothing ever happens.
Yep.
All right.
It's been how long has it been? An hour?
Hour and a half.
Hour and a half? Oh, we just got through the first moves phase.
Let's move on to build. Wait, no, this is fall. Wow. Yeah. Okay. So fall. So in this position, this is before this phase is where I make that promise to Ezio about being chill. And supporting him against somebody, right? So I throw myself back into
Yeah.
Zamboanga. I cover Cebu to get Tokugawa out. But for some reason, my fleet in Bonin Islands is dislodged and actually forced disbanded by you with support from Tokugawa, which in my mind is perhaps one of the dumbest things that you could do here, Salt. But I will let you explain why you thought that this collapsing of the position was a good idea, because
Uh,
that still happened, but we'll leave that for
no,
later.
yeah, it is. Yeah, we can talk about that later.
Wait, why is this unsuccessful? I think this is a map error. 1 second, let's. Yeah,
I
it's a
think so
map error.
too.
Yeah, this goes through. Um, but there are reasons to believe that this might not have been the best move. I don't know. For me over here, I alter the deal with Cass. This part is arranged. in exchange for this like wizardry of a move set where I try to get Luxon to do. I think I tried to get him to do. Let's see. I tried to get him to do something stupid. I think. And it almost worked, but it didn't. I don't know how close Luxon was to doing something stupid with me. But I tried to help Franson to
It's,
roam.
I mean, we know him.
If Luxon had ran with this, then it would have worked. But Luxon did not. Luxon played safe like this, and so France did not end up getting Rome. And the reason France didn't get Rome in the end is because I wait. What the hell? Why didn't Luxon get Rome or France get Rome? Sorry, I'm wondering what this order. No, because Corse can't do anything. I'm dumb. Yeah. So the reason France doesn't get Rome is because I gamble that Luxon will do this instead, and I am not trusting Cass to just give me Sicily, so I support myself in. This was, in hindsight, a bad idea, but at the time, I felt like it was a pretty good idea to secure Sicily instead of letting her have the chance to bounce me out, which would have been pretty brutal given how badly I need dots elsewhere. Cut that at 1 hour and a half. Happy fun time. So you didn't see that, but I just pulled up my settings. We're gonna cut that one out of the video, and people will be wondering what I'm talking about. Or maybe they won't if the settings are not private, then it'll be fine. To South America, Portugal finally gets Caracas because you retreat here, but then move this way, which I am sad about. I think you actually promised to support
Yeah,
hold me here, but you didn't.
I thought I needed to cover the dot.
Yeah, but you stabbed
Yeah,
me anyway, so
that one's
whatever.
on me.
Now, as you would have it, I actually thought that you might try this in South America, so I support held Japura, which risked
That was
you
very rude, rude,
losing.
rude of you.
It risked you losing Madeira, but based on what I saw Aymara doing in the spring, I didn't think that he would be putting 4 on Madeira. I thought it would be okay, and it was, luckily. I get into Quito because Aymara is running this move to try to get his position organized. And that's about it for South America. I moved Galapagos to bounce this again. If Mapuche ever wanted to stab Aymara by like moving towards them, that would be great, but Mapuche is really heavily committed to this idea, except he doesn't commit enough fleets to actually ever achieve anything in this direction. So I don't really know what the idea is there. Um, but yeah, I can't really follow it. I don't really know what the idea is there. We go further north.
Yeah, we can talk about that.
We see mostly status quo between England and I, except England supports himself. You can't see it because it's really hard to see. You see like this little dip on the arrow. England supports himself into Gulf of Mexico for some reason because he's decided I'm the enemy. I gamble. I mean, I kind of yeah. I have to choose basically. I have a choice to make on what I think will happen with Ut, and I don't cover Mexico City, and I covered Chitimacha, and it goes poorly. But what can you do, right?
Yeah,
I mean, and the reason I make that gamble is because up here, France and England both told me they would support this move to contain the regionals, and neither of them did. If I had known this was coming, then I could have ran this move set instead. But alas, we can only work with what we have, and we try to work with people who we hope are going to be reasonable instead of death warring me, but still holding in Belize. Like what? Like if you're gonna do this, at least like I don't know. I guess you can't really do anything else. I'm because like you have to cover that,
no, it makes
but
no sense.
like then why are you doing any of this? You're not gonna get Jamestown. I'm obviously cutting Cherokee, and like what's the point of that? Why are you supporting France into Bermuda instead of supporting yourself at the Catawba if you want it so bad? There's no. If England had gotten anything out of the stab, it would have been. I would have been like, okay, I'm upset, but you got something. But he didn't, and he never did.
Isn't that fun?
Yeah, I don't like zero dot stabs, and I don't like 1 dot stabs generally as a rule. Salt. Take note.
I wonder why.
Yep. And I try to take Hawaii here, but Uchishoni guesses correctly on what unit needs to be cut, which is sad. So I guess we'll move on to you because I think you had a bit more drama going on at the time.
Just a little bit more.
So what?
Yeah, we can start with this. So this was like a joint effort by Toku and Aymar to like convince me to do this. I think they were working independently to do this, but yeah, like for on Toku's end at least, my colonial position is in complete chaos right now with France and England constantly like changing their positions every 6 hours on who they want to work with and what moves are going down. And the worst possible thing to happen to me right now is like a concerted Tokugawa push into my backline here, and that's what I'm kind of worried will happen with this Homahara Sea Fleet. Toku did did tell me they were taking this dot regardless, but they told me that they would like leave Minato afterwards, and, like give it back to me if I stopped attacking them. I've written off Formosa already, and dot is dot. So I just need like any builds I can get at this point in time to hopefully salvage the colonials uh, diplomacy. And if I'm seeing like having to take units off of the board, I'm worried that France and England will see that I'm the easiest target, and like that'll convince them to stop like flipping every 6 hours and decide to like jointly attack me. That's my main worry, and I'm hoping that like I can get like a dot by doing this, and like maybe by working with Toku, I don't really need him as like a long term threat, and I can maybe make this region a bit safer for me. That's kind of the thought process.
I'm not sure
Imar
I
was kind of doing
agree with
something
it.
similar. It's not great. It's more because I don't have a lot of options left to try to salvage the colonial drama. So I kind of just need to take any outs that I see, and if I have more builds, then I have more ways to try and fix the situation in like Europe.
Mhm. Well, let's see if you get builds.
We'll see. Ayutthaya, Ezio, for whatever reason, decided that he wasn't a fan of what we were doing
Mhm.
ear- earlier. For I don't know why, but for some reason, me attacking him and like going back on the deal with him, like kind of made him mad. I don't know why.
Weird.
So he tried to attack me here, but I saw that one coming. So
So
I
he did.
yeah, he doesn't get anything.
Magic.
Just fun.
Then some good guesses here. Or maybe this isn't a guess. Maybe this
Yeah,
is just you wanted to go for Magi and getting lucky.
I think I just wanted to attack not Portugal, Britain.
England.
Yeah, I just want to
Okay.
move against Britain, and I just got lucky off that.
Huzzah.
Yeah,
And
we appreciate it.
France's position just gets wiped over here.
Yep.
I'm not entirely sure how this like
They
how do you
lost pretty
not
much everything here.
go there or there, Tefra? Listen, man, you gotta cover dots. I mean, you
I
just gotta
maybe he
cover
thought like
dots.
it was like Portugal like support in just didn't bother. That's my read on it. But like,
Yeah.
come on,
Yeah.
dotting me was better than that apparently.
Tragic. I'll go to Africa.
Africa's fun.
Hmm.
By fun, I mean not fun. I decided to just dot cast after this, but she ended up retreating. I'm not entirely sure why, but
I thought this
works
would
for me.
happen, so guessed this, but for some reason didn't also self bounce.
Uh, yeah, that would explain it. Abbey holds two of their armies for some reason as well. Um,
Holding units generally
I
isn't a good idea.
yeah, and so is Ottomans. That's 3 holds from her.
Yep.
Okay, I'm generally losing progress in my colony here. Kind of the theme.
Yes, not the best position to be in.
No, but none of my positions are.
Speaking of,
um, yeah, kind of a similar deal with Toku on this one. I really didn't expect you to throw the support hold on this. Um, I figured I'd just get a quick dot, and with the extra build, I could maybe salvage something somewhere. I knew Madeira was gone. If I did this, I'm kind of fine with that. I figure I can maybe get like a line to hold like Japura and Amazonia with like a few armies there. Like Aymara would push against Portugal and Spain before they pushed me. And if they push against Portugal, then I could do the same and like reconquer my cores there. And it's also if I don't have to spend these against like support holding against Aymara, I can buy myself time to like get rid of France's colony here and then send those armies back south before Aymara gets the bright idea to start attacking me in like full.
yeah, so the issue here is
That's
that my rational brain this entire game until now was saying, "There's no way Salt stabs me. That would be so stupid." My pattern recognition brain saw those three, and saw this, and was like, you know, I wouldn't be surprised if Salt went for a little knife in the back.
yeah,
And I'm so glad it did
yeah.
because that made this stab completely unworthwhile for you.
No, it failed in like every way possible, which was really fun.
Mhm.
For you, I'm sure.
Yeah, because you made me go -1, but by not working with me here, alright, guys, you got a dot, but you made me lose 2 by not holding me here, which was actually
Yeah,
really bad for my position because if I had had 2 extra dots in this position, I actually would have had a position. Because
wouldn't that be fun?
I could have disbanded retreats, I think, and had, like, a build or 2, and if I did, I could have, like, probably stabbed Portugal here, honestly. Um,
Yeah. The thing is, if I'm not allowed to have a playable position, then no one else is what I decided
my position was less
this turn
my
here.
position before this stab was less playable than yours.
This whole game is so cursed.
Yes. Alright, so then, I see there's, like, England-France dynamics again.
Oh yeah, so like you would think that after successfully working with France that past phase, that like that would keep going, right?
You'd imagine.
Well, you see, what had happened was, I'm sure France saw that like England didn't actually attack them like I said they would the last turn, so they decided to work with them, and the unfortunate victim of that just happens to be me here.
And a little bit me.
So yeah, I did see this coming a little bit that France would flip on me. So like my SAO fleet dotted
Tap
Leeward Sea,
tappers to keep
or
Puerto
yeah,
Rico.
tapped it. So like I stayed Puerto Rico, and like I dotted France and South America as well. So like I saw this coming, but I there wasn't a lot I could have done to prevent it. I tried to get England back on side because I knew France was gonna flip, and I think no England. I don't remember if was agreed on England or they just dotted me, or if I gave this away.
Hmm.
I think this was a stab from England. Hold
This
on.
is almost certainly a stab
Go
from
to.
England.
I might have given them that. To be fair,
But it was
I
a
know there was
stab because
some
New
negotiations around
Amsterdam,
that.
so
Yeah, yeah. Go to Europe. Yeah, definitely a stab. I think. No, he's not going for it. Maybe he's
I don't
pouring
know.
Sweden into one. See, I think that was a stab from England.
Well, England supported France into Bermuda, so survey says yes.
Yeah, yeah. So that is a EF against me right now. which is not the greatest position to be in. But
We'll see
France
if it,
moved completely away from me in spring, so they have to waste fall getting back into position to attack me.
yeah,
Um, super fun position to be in here. Yeah. So Dutch is a really fun country to play. I highly recommend it if anyone's looking to like play their first game of diplomacy.
no complaints there, I'm sure.
None whatsoever.
All right, onwards we go. The first phase of builds we'll see after the opening of the video. So I have disbands here. I have one, I think. Yeah, yes, I have a one disband. So I get rid of the fleet in Rabat because this is the least useful unit I have on the map, except maybe for Beliers. But at this point in the game, I trust Portugal more than I do France because I've watched how those two have played. And that has influenced my conclusions a little bit about who might be the more trustworthy ally. Of course, I do know that
Yeah.
Portugal can stab me, but if Portugal runs this stab, my analysis it takes him a while to get anything because I'll move everything towards him. And if he's able
Yeah.
to get things from a stab like this out of me, then my position is like dead anyways, is my analysis. So may as well disband that unit and call it a day.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yes. As for you,
I had one build. I spent it in Indonesia. I figured that
yeah.
with the whole world like burning around me, that is probably the best region for me to like put my build into. And with Tokyo right there, I need some unit to reclaim Monado as per the deal I have with them. So this is going to be the fleet for that.
Yes. And it
And that was my only build.
might also be needed for some other activities.
Yeah.
Like if I decide to do that.
Also, also, I really, the one thing I asked of a Britain this year was to not build a fleet in a core Manton. If you want to zoom in on that,
Hmm. What did England build
yeah,
there?
I sure wonder. Surely it's not the fleet that I specifically asked them to not build there.
Well, to be fair, they did stab you. So what do you
Yeah, but
expect?
like I promised them that we could be friends, and they just didn't do that, and I don't know why they didn't want to be friends.
Yep. Elsewhere, Ottomans
What a
build a fleet and an
shame.
army. Poland builds an army. Poland builds a fleet. Who builds fleets? My position in this entire continent is just dead. And it's just about eking out dots at this point because what else is there to do? Because at
Yep.
this point, with this position, Aymara has broken through because they'll cut this, even if we cooperate, they'll cut this, they'll put up here with 4 supports, and this position now just gets rolled back.
Yeah, I also want to note that France like went -2 this year. Or no, not -2. They spent like 4 units across the board. If you were England, would you want to like work with the person that's like getting builds or the person who's taking units off the board?
Um,
What do you think?
well, it really depends to me on where those builds are going to end up being. Because as I can see down here, your build was actually made by disbanding Guadeloupe, and that unit
We
not
don't
being
need to talk about
here
that part.
makes you quite a bit less useful as an ally because there's no way to push France west from Leeward
Well, I,
Sea and
I
get any
was losing
progress.
those dots regardless.
Well,
Is the
yes,
thing.
but it makes you less tempting as
Uh,
an ally to England.
yeah, but if France is getting bills, they don't have Africa to like use those builds on anymore, and South America is going to go away soon as well. It's like any builds France gets is like they now have to go somewhere where England probably doesn't want France to be having builds.
Saul, you completely missed your analysis because England doesn't think past the next season.
You're
I don't
right.
know.
You're
So
right.
I don't
I
know
should
what.
I should have remembered.
Yeah, you got to remember you're working with a hamster, man.
Of course. I should have just talked to Britain 5 minutes before the phase ended.
Yeah, it would have gone really well for you actually.
Oh well, opportunities missed.
You don't say. Any other
We
relevant
tried.
points? I mean, yeah, with the fleets here and the armies from Athabasca being here and here instead of anything here, this is just going to be like a permanent alliance. I say permanent. Athabasca will permanently be allied to Uchishone. The other way around might not necessarily apply because Uchishone has gained dominance in the Great Plains, and so at his leisure, he could like build an army of Shoshone and then drop armies north like this and just get up the coast and kill Athabasca. It is
Yeah.
something to keep an eye on. And if I was at the Pasca, I would have stabbed Shoshone already to avoid that type of thing happening to me.
Yep.
So,
Makes sense.
I mean, long-term alliances are great and I love them, but only if they like make sense for both parties, and they really don't here, in my opinion. They really don't.
Yeah, I would have stabbed like yeah, 3 turns ago, maybe.
Yeah, back when I proposed it,
Yeah, that probably would have turned out better, but I
it
mean the
is.
alliance is going. I just think it'll collapse relatively soon, especially with Alaska being taken away.
Yeah, spring moves. So the cooperation here between you and I has pretty clearly collapsed. Why did you? Oh, you were trying to support this.
Yeah,
Yes, that was totally going to happen. Tokugawa was not going to stab you on the spot for this.
they didn't taunt me.
Not
Technically, they're just
not
going to
yet.
do it next turn.
Yeah, yeah. Um, so the Southeast Asia position is not very good.
No, no, it is not.
Yes. Yes, no, maybe
I
so.
think that goes for both of us.
And I owe Ezio a dot, but not my dot because I convinced him not to do it. I mean, I say convinced. It
Only
was
I could do the same.
well, I pinned a lot of blame on you, and then I was really upset, and then I like, and then I acted really happy, and it worked on him. He was like, "Okay, we'll do it this way," and I was like, "Yay!"
Fair enough, honestly. I really did just drag you into the war against him that went nowhere.
Yeah, and then stabbed me.
Yeah,
In
yep,
Europe,
that is exactly what happened.
I try to stab Cass here, but the problem with having core tune is that she goes to cut the core, and so I don't really land this very well. I do have a shot. I have a 50-50 on Tripoli in the fall because Kyra moves away. But given this, I probably shouldn't have stabbed in this position. I should have stabbed either earlier or later, basically. But this was this was a bad time for her, and it was half a desperation stab for me because I see coming. I just see that this entire half of the world is a dead position to me, and I'm not very happy about that. We'll say,
Yeah,
yeah, and
it's been a game.
yep. In other news, South America, this is not the best position to be in South America, but I actually get a decently better line against Aymara here because he manages to not take Madeira here. He's not going to take it till fall, which means there's not going to be pressure on Japura until next year. And I land in Peru Basin finally, which gives me the ability to harass him into this area, which is nice. If I want to be annoying, I slip a fleet into Nazca Ridge, which I can do guaranteed here, and it's just very painful for him for a year at least, which I think he deserves, given how he's treated me this game. So I'm not
A
very
little
upset
bit.
about that. Up in the Caribbean, this is just a dying position, but I manage to. Actually, I don't manage anything really. There's nothing to preserve in this position at this point. All I can do is kind of set up some fleets along the coast. I probably get Belize here based on the moves, unless England cuts every single unit like this. But I'm not sure he's tactically gonna do that because that would leave the potential of me sniping Baracoa open, like because he has to self bounce like this.
Yeah,
Um,
that sounds right.
so it's a 50-50 against England. Is basically what I get in exchange for losing Saltillo and Chitamacha, and maybe St. Augustine, depending on whether England and Ushoshone are cooperating here. I kind of expect that they are, but for England, doing this cooperation with Ushoshone is just a death sentence over time because Ushoshone will take these centers We'll core them, we'll build fleets, and we'll advance with no opposition because Athapasca no longer has a line to stab him.
I also want to note that England is making this alliance with you, obviously, but what centers do they really get out of attacking you here or
Maybe St.
working with
Augustine.
you?
Mostly
And that's
Catalpa,
about
I'd
it,
say.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, like it's like long term, there aren't really any gains here, and there really aren't any gains that you can hold all that well either.
Oh, but Salt, we were using the wrong word. We said long term.
Right. Yeah, England doesn't know what that word means.
How do
I
I
forgot.
we gotta get like we gotta draw a goldfish. How do you draw a fish? It's like this.
Yeah, you got the little cross. There you go.
And then wait, I can do it. I can what we wanna do is we wanna start with the with a little with the white background, right?
Uh-huh.
And then it's the red cross. And then we gotta square it off a bit. All right, here we go. And then we color in a little bit of blue around the edges. Look, it's coming together. This flag's coming together. Look at that. I should have done a blue background, honestly, but there we go. Look at that. It's a British
Yep, sounds about right.
goldfish. British goldfish, I promise. Maybe you know what I should do? We're just gonna a legendary I'm a legendary drawer, by the way. I can draw really well.
It does look pretty good, I do
That
have
looks
to have
better.
to
This
say.
the background being blue is easier to draw. There we go. British goldfish. Yes. So that's the vibe I'm getting out of England, and it kind of makes me want to die because that means there's truly no hope for my position at all.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny how much of these positions depend on England doing normal things.
Rational things.
Yeah.
You don't gotta be
Um
normal to win this game. You at least gotta be rational, though.
yeah, England panicked after the first year and never really stopped panicking, from what I
Yeah,
can tell.
that's a good way of putting it. You just never really sat down and thought about the position.
And we all have to suffer for it.
Yes. Speaking of suffered for it, Salt. What are your moves looking like?
Oh, Asia's a complete mess. I have a Puche from one end, Ayutthaya, who I was pretty sure was gonna keep going, and here they are. It was kind of a game of a chicken here
Mhm.
with like obviously he thought I was gonna go for the support hold. It's like I had to just like make the bet that he would think that and then like position on me, and I managed to get that guess right. So that goes pretty well for me. I hold him off for another turn, and the Tunisi goes away from me, so I don't have to worry about him for that end either. So that's pretty clean. Mapuche is less clean. He does have Danny guaranteed in fall, which is really unfortunate. But
Well,
there just wasn't anything I could have done about that this turn. Togu stuck to our deal, but not in the way I wanted. I thought they'd go to Hall Heresy, and they just, I mean, they're just stabbing in the north, obviously. So, this fleet's supposed to mess with me. I think I'm not entirely sure why they moved there and not to
probably offered support like
Java
this from
or
Mapuche,
Celebs. Yeah, I can kind of see it.
but like down here would have
Um,
been more
I think
brutal.
Floresy would have been a better move.
Floresy is better
Yeah,
but less flexible. What he should have done was this though, because then if
yeah,
you're
bounce
greedy,
it.
you just don't get this dot back. And you were
Yeah,
greedy,
yeah, I was very greedy.
indubitably.
Um, but yeah, I don't. I lose Danny this year by game and autos. I should be even.
Mhm.
Um,
The problem
yeah,
for me, at least, and I didn't say this earlier, but the problem for me is you doing this, you have no reason to do anything other than do Mela, which means I have to
Yeah.
cover it, which means I guarantee lose Philippine Sea to Tokugawa here, right? Yeah, because I guess I don't
Yeah.
guaranteed lose it, but like it's pretty likely.
I'm just going for as much greed as I can with these orders. Which
I
yeah,
like
it's
it.
not yeah, it's not really great for anyone, but it works for me in the short term.
Wait, 1 second. I didn't color in the goldfish, man. I got to color in the goldfish. Wait a second. Wait a
Right.
second. We can.
His base is
Uh,
gone.
can we get some?
There you go.
There we go. Okay, now we gotta draw the face again. Get that. There we go. Look at that.
There we go.
That's our goldfish.
Yeah.
A little bit of a
Um
weird tail, but we'll let it slide. All right.
yeah, we go to Africa here. I think that's Asia explained.
Yeah.
Here I decided to make England's life as bad as I could possibly make it. I decided to just full send everything at England because I didn't care anymore and I wanted England to have a bad time. Um, so if you look at the map, like this year, what dots would England reasonably get by pursuing a war against me? They've already made the stand, yes, but like, they don't really have any further gains to be made.
Maybe Saint
I
Martin.
say that maybe Saint Martin. But look at Europe. Just like pan over to Europe for a quick second. They're not getting anything in Europe.
Wow.
I do not know why England supported Sweden here. This completely invalidates any stab they made on me because England no
So
longer profits off of a stab against me at all.
you could have blocked that Swedish fleet there going to Norwegian Sea.
hmm I don't know why you would ever want Sweden in this position. Nor do I know why you would continue to attack me this year if you weren't gaining dots off of it anywhere. Um,
Well, you
but
know how
that is what England decided to do.
you could have gained a dot.
Yeah, I mean, or you could have just like gone in Amsterdam yourself. It's like the only gain you get in Europe, but like it's a dot. Like I don't know why you would put Sweden there. It just really confuses me. But I had to talk with England, and they said that they were pretty much like only looking for gains in Africa off of continuing to attack me here.
Hmm.
So I decided just like send everything I could to Africa to make sure that they couldn't get anything there either. So that's what I did. Because yeah, if the things like this happen to you, then you can only really play for spite. And I am significantly more spiteful towards England than anybody else, so I chose to spite them. It's yeah, I kind of explains my moves a little bit. South America goes better for me, I think.
Let's see about that. Well,
Yeah, I didn't lose anything.
not yet.
Not yet.
You will lose Madeira and fall.
I will. You did support me though, which is very
Yeah.
very kind of you.
We put back
I
together
do appreciate that.
a working agreement for South America, even if there's no point to working. Even if I out of principle refuse to work with you to hold the Bonin Islands here because I don't think you should.
Yeah,
I don't. I'm not gonna let you get away
yeah,
with
no,
that.
that's fair. But we agreed to work together in South America and fight here, if I remember right.
Yep. Because I hate Aymara more than I hate you.
We love to see it. And yeah, I'm still fighting England and France, but they have less units here, so it's not as bad. Um, Poland's annoying, but not fighting me just yet. Um, Caribbean's dying, if I remember,
Oh yeah. Okay. Sorry. We
and
didn't scroll over. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Caribbean's
yeah,
dying. North
Caribbean's dead,
America
and
dead.
North America's dead too. Yeah,
Good times. And
so I don't have
now
to look at those fishes anymore.
the AAR will speed up.
Yay.
Fall. All right. So in fall, you actually don't try to dot me. I think Ming probably promised you support here or something.
Yeah,
Um,
they did.
yeah. So if I
And they
had known
didn't
that, I
do
would
it.
have held right here. It would have been nice. Because now I get to deal with you in Philippines Sea as well, going for dots every turn.
I figured if I had told you I wasn't going for it, your knee-jerk reaction would be, I'm definitely going for it.
Oh yeah. I mean, I say like it would have been nice to know, but I would have had to like
Yeah,
being able to look into your head to know.
yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. So good times.
Yep,
Across the world. I'm now fighting Cass again, and I get a dot out of it actually. So huzzah! Um,
dots are fun.
yeah. The problem is that she's making. I think she's making gains elsewhere, if I recall. Yeah, she gets like Kharkov and Aden, um, and therefore keeps Naples. She's like +1. She'll be able to build in Cairo, pull this army back, and pull some fleet from somewhere, right? Oh wait, no, no. This fleet in Rome gets forced disbanded, so she's actually +2 in terms of builds. So I will get to deal with army, fleet moving down. Excuse me, moving down and crushing me back out of Tripoli, which was my
Yeah,
original reason to be concerned about stabbing her and not wanting to do it, but needs must. Portugal and I keep bouncing. I have a fleet here to guard against France's shenanigans, but I don't cover course because I prefer the fleet to be in Bonifacio instead of course generally. So I gamble.
yeah. It's generally a better spot, I think. And it worked out, so.
Yeah. Um, South America, there goes Madeira as expected because Japura gets cut.
Yep.
I hold on to Quito. I put this fleet into Nazca Ridge because I hate Aymara. Um, Mapuche gets Licitane for some reason. I think it was agreed. I'm not sure though. It's
Yeah, I think
weird.
Guarani's soft stabbing Pucha again. It's like one of the phases
Yes,
where like they go
as
for it,
SAO
but
comes
back
down.
out again.
Yeah, I mean, no progress really ever gets made down there, anyways. So it's fine.
Yeah.
I lose Cartagena, which was inevitable given the current position. I asked France to cut Caribbean Sea, but he says no, which is
Yeah.
annoying because I would have liked if he said yes. Would have been nice. I get Belize though, luckily. So, you know, Pog.
Love it.
And Ostius tries to make me an offer to like give him Chiti Matcha and Saltillo now, and in exchange he'd help me hold St. Augustine by supporting me in here. But
Uh-huh.
but
I'm
I
sure.
I think he's probably truthful with the offer, but I still don't trust him at all because he hasn't kept to a single deal all game with me. Not even for a season, since the first year when there's no incentive to stab. Actually, no. He did stab me in fall of the first year. The only year he didn't stab me was a season where he couldn't stab me. So,
Jeez. Yeah.
so I don't take that deal. Instead,
That's
I
rough.
decide to stand in his way as a roadblock as long as I can,
I'm sure
including
England will
by
hold that for forever
oh
and never
yes,
get dotted.
this will be his forever for all time. I take Hawaii because I'm not in a very nice mood towards Uchishane right now. Believe it or not.
Yeah.
Um, and them's the moves, them's the breaks.
Yep.
So
Uh,
excellent.
generally, yeah, I lose Danny. Like we said, Pucci takes over Coral Sea, which makes sense because I could have tapped it. I tried to brace here. It's like if they, um, s-
Yeah,
yeah, I did, and
you
this would have worked too
this
if
would have
Toku
worked,
didn't
but
tap me.
Toku specifically tried to collapse your like this. I think this is pretty short sighted from Toku. I imagine Mapuche offered them support. That's never going to happen. It's short
No.
sighted for two reasons. The first reason is that you're letting a competitor into dots that you want to have later when they could have chaos instead. The second reason, well, you see it on the map right there. If Tokugawa had done this
Yeah, I'm
instead,
just gonna. I think
like
this move was like pretty obvious too, from like a mile away. Like it took you really wanting to mess with me. Like that's
this is higher upside. I think it's more likely
yeah.
that you move Monado and out than it is that Mapuche genuinely supports you to Flores and that support's not cut
Hmm.
because that support was also
Yeah.
cut, which was always going to happen. So it's just it's not ideal.
Yeah, it would have been nice. I don't know why Toku sees the need to work with Mapuche, because Mapuche can take my dots faster than Toku can.
Mhm.
It's like Toku should want me to hold out against Mapuche for longer, commit more fleets to that fight. And then like when the time's right, they can come in and take my dots while I'm still fighting Mapuche. Um, Unfortunately, this is what we get. I have plenty of fleets around to bounce Mapuche everywhere else, so this is kind of set up to stalemate over the long run.
Yeah.
And Ezio backs off,
Yes, he
which is
does.
always nice.
Good boy, Ezio. He's chilling. Although I don't know why you'd run away. I guess because you want to go this way or something.
Yeah, probably.
Weird.
Yeah, nice of him. I'm sure it'll keep that way.
Ceylon is
Uh,
Ceylon.
yeah, I knew that one's going. Adron and Portugal have been working together for a while now. Adron's pretty much Portugal's vassal at the moment.
Yep.
We already talked about Africa. I'm abandoning it and just full sending England. I did tell Congo that I was bouncing these two. I was hoping to like buy
Bluff.
myself some rune, like go after England when Congo like wouldn't go after me. It did not work, so they get to walk in,
Tragic.
and I'm sure that looks like a throw, but it was not. It's not intentional.
It was a gamble. You lost 2 dots here. You gained 2 dots here.
Yeah, pretty
You
much.
just don't like England very much.
I do not like England at all. Yeah, whatever option makes England suffer more is the option that I will take.
That does not seem to be an uncommon opinion in this game.
And I wonder why.
God.
I think we already touched on South America. I lose Madeira.
Sort of.
Everything else
Yeah.
stays the same. Poland tries to dot me. I was not born yesterday, so I defend it.
Yep.
Caribbean, North America die. Europe dies. England
Although
gains no dots from any of those.
France does try to support you into Guadalupe. He just fails.
Yeah, I was full sending England at this point. I kind of told France I would just I didn't care what happened as long as Britain hurt. So we kind of made a deal where I would help France, I think, in North America with my one army there.
Let's zoom in.
Or no,
Yeah, right there.
yeah, I would help them there. They would help me against Britain. That was our deal. Worked out for France, did not work out for me.
So it goes.
Yep. Yeah,
And
I
Europe is
think that's
dead.
everything.
Yep.
Europe is dead. England has gotten no dots from this, though they wanted Amsterdam. Why would you support Sweden there? I don't know.
And he also tried to stab France. Like, what? You just do this a season ago. I
I
get it.
Yep, don't know why would you do that either.
Well,
But
what can you
here
do?
we are.
You can play better, but no, you can't do that. It doesn't.
Nah, it's way too late for that one.
Well,
That ship
in
has
fairness, it
sailed.
is. In fairness, yeah. All right. Well, forward we go to disbands. You get rid of Philippine Sea, which you told me about, and I'm happy because that means it's fun. I
I think
disband on
South America.
retreats and rebuild in Cebu because I don't trust you to disband that fleet.
Mhm.
You this I hate.
Yep,
I
there it is.
I viscerally hate that you did this. But still, I still do. This was the worst decision I think that you could have done.
I disagree on that one. I think South America is kind of dead anyways. There are probably some dots I can save, but at this point, my attention is solely on playing the rest of the game out of Asia. And as long as like Asia can do its thing and survive, I will sacrifice pretty much everything else to make that happen. So I was like -6 this year. So it's either like spreading out my disbands through like South America, Africa, and Asia, or doing this. I wanted Africa to stay where it was because England would have a bunch of free dots to walk into if I didn't. If I wiped off all my armies there, so I wanted to keep those around. And I wanted Asia around because that's my like that's where I need to play the rest of the game. It's like the position that's like least likely to uh, go away in time.
Um,
So that just kind of left South America. So
so
I think
counterpoint,
this position is like
counterpoint. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's say 5, 6.
no,
Africa's dead.
I
Africa's dead. So Africa is
Africa is
way
dead,
more
but
dead.
I want to screw with Britain.
Well,
That's
you
why I kept
you still screw with England a
Africa.
lot because thing is England gets core momentum back guaranteed anyways because Congo is going to do this and that will cut your support.
They
England
don't get it
will
back. Great Android can cut knots. Busa can cut Wagadugu. I can
yeah,
take Asia
except until like
here.
Ottoman says something like
Yeah,
this is an amount of spite
I
that
just
I do
want
not subscribe to.
England. No, I cannot win this game anymore. I just want England to suffer. That's my plan.
Well, you
Yeah,
don't make
and then
England
South.
suffer very much because England has no chance anyways. You make me suffer.
I don't think South America was going to survive anyways for
It
like
was
maybe
no
one more year,
this would
and that
live.
was it.
This would live because we have the
I
chain support along here down to there and
no.
across, and we literally just sit here and he can't do anything because he has to devote these armies to containing my fleet. Because I do this and he has to like do all this BS to stop me from getting into his backlines.
I think he could crawl up if he went like if he took like if we went like just the right, took like Goiás out first, like tapped Amazonia, took
Well,
Goiás,
no,
and
there's
then
no.
started.
Well, you can't tap
Well,
and take.
if he moved an army to Bahia, he could, and he does have the armies to afford that. If he
Yes, but
stretched
if
out the front
you
there, took Goiás, and then started swallowing the front like that, he can.
this is possible, but then you're very likely to see him being tapped by Portugal because, well, Portuguese dot
Yeah,
there,
Portugal's
Portuguese
been
dot
letting
there.
Aymara get away with everything for the entire game.
Well, this phase he did, but in spring, let's see, let's go back
In most
to
states he has.
fall of year 3. He did this actually.
It was like the one time that he like went for it.
I think it's a better shot than keeping this. This is 3
I'm not
centers.
trying to keep this. I'm just trying to make sure that Britain dies
Well, this is a level of spite that I like I
before
said,
it all goes downhill.
a level of spite that I don't subscribe to. You should
That's fair.
try to hold on to some.
That's just how upset I was with how Britain played this game.
Because this position is quite holdable. Uh,
I don't think so. I have Portugal, France, England, Poland, Aymara all actively at war with me. And the only support I really have against that is one army from you.
we can manage.
I don't think that was
This
holdable.
this was maneuverable because I think Poland would have pulled this fleet away, to be honest.
I don't think so.
I mean, I don't. I think this way because he never gets Parmerbo in this position ever, so I think he would have used the fleet
He tried
somewhere
for
else.
it the last turn. I think he was gonna try for it more.
Well, he
Like he
tried for
gets
it
it for
here,
free.
but there's
Yeah,
no
when it's the
but
same spot where England can just dot
but
him.
here there's a reason to try for it because you expect that there's a chance that this happens, but from this position, if the fleet is still here, right? I mean, there's no way
Mhm.
you don't expect this to happen again.
I think he just keeps going for it until I'm I'm gone from there. I'm not sure what would have happened if I had kept it, but I don't think me and Poland would be friends.
You're not
And even then,
friends,
there's
but
still like I'm still at war with like 4 other powers in the area. I don't think it's very maneuverable. I would just have to sit there like for years and years And that's if I don't just die, which
No,
I
this
think I
this
would.
survives. This survives to the end of the game. It
I
doesn't. It maybe if it
don't
doesn't
think so.
thrive, but it exists for the rest of the game because I'm here too.
I don't think so. I think either Portugal or Aymara would swallow it eventually.
Oh well, you decide to surrender, and so it was,
Yeah.
which is bastardization. I have builds actually, so I devote builds to Europe because it's the only position that has anything going for me. And if I'm gonna live to
Yeah,
the end of the
yours
game, it's gonna be
your best
Europe.
spot right now.
Now, I maybe should have built the army here and a fleet here and just tried to all in Portugal while I had the chance. Um, it wouldn't have been a terrible idea, but I don't think it'll work very well in this position anymore. Because Portugal has the units now in the builds to effectively combat this type of behavior. And because I just stabbed Ottomans, and I expect Cass to death roll me for all time. Because, that's her reputation.
Yep,
So,
makes
moves.
sense.
Guess we continue on. Um, so I make the move from Cotabato to Sarawak because this is me fulfilling my promise to Ezio. He expects to land in Natuna Sea, from which spot
And
I
you
will be able to support him to Sambas, like I said I would. All those
and you
years
told
ago.
me these moves if I remember right.
Did I tell you these
I think
moves?
you told me. I think you told me about these in advance. I need to like cut or either that or
I hope
okay.
I
No, I
did.
never. I asked you for support to South China Sea. I remember asking you for that, and you said no.
Yeah. I was aware this was going to be a move set, but I didn't communicate that to Ezio, I don't think.
Yeah, I don't think you laid this to me then. Might have been a different move I'm thinking about. Either way, this doesn't work out for Ezio at all.
No, but it might work out for me.
Yeah,
I support
nothing
Toku.
happens.
I support Toku into Monado mostly out of spite over you disbanding your entire South American position. I'm quite upset about that because it
Yeah,
means I can't spite Aymara as effectively anymore. So I decide to ruin your Asia plans.
they were already ruined.
And also, I try to work with Tokugawa here, and it does work out to an extent. You can see he's actually moving away from me, which is pretty nice.
Yeah,
It's pretty good success. In Europe, I convoy Valencia into Tunis, which turns out to be a bad decision because Portugal stabs me on the spot. And I should have arranged a bounce with him here, or seen this coming. To be honest,
yeah, that's for Bot
I should have seen this
and
coming. But this
Marrakesh.
this felt like a kind of like it felt like a dorkish stab. I don't know, dorkish, dumb, pretty
He only
much,
gets the one dot out of it,
because
doesn't he?
it's a really slow stab, and you only make this bet if you think that I'm gonna try to make a deal with you, and then back off more, and then get stabbed again, which is what happened with Uchishone. The one person in this game that I will not make a deal with after they stab me like this is Penguin, because in B1E, he stabbed me like this. We made peace, and then I threw the game to him after having told him I would fight him for the rest of the time. So when Penguin stabs me here, my immediate reaction is, well, okay, I'm fighting him for the rest of time. Like that's just what's gonna happen. That's what's gonna happen. I have to fight him for the rest of the time at this point, and I will. Spoiler alert: I will fight him pretty much the
Yeah,
rest of the game. Um, to make clear that I'm not always gonna throw it to you if you stab me. In fact, I might be very annoying.
yeah, that's a
Um,
good point to make.
yes. At this point, I can only make a point with the game. So I make a point about wanting to live, but also, a little bit of spite. A little bit of my word counts for something. Maybe not spite, but my word counts for something. In South America with you gone, I'm like kind of trying to make a deal with Aymara about how to handle your dots. And so there's like some deal where he wants Japura and I get Amazonia instead, and then he's proposing that we like somehow move up here and cooperate. And I never believe a word of it because Aymara I don't think has ever said a truthful word to me in this game. So I move the Japura. I try to bounce him out of it, and it doesn't work. But the setup here is such that because he doesn't land Goyas, the setup here is such that I actually will hold on to at least one of these three dots in the fall, and I will also probably hold Quito unless I get cut by Uchishone. But I expect Uchishone to use this to support himself to Galapagos. So I can hold off Aymara's gains for another year at this rate. Although I do kind of try to make it like you can see I move Nazca Ridge to Peru Basin as part of this deal. That's because I don't actually see the value in holding it around right here. Because in Nazca Ridge, it can kind of spite him and tie down 2 units, but I can't actually tie down his gains anymore. But in order to tie down his gains, I need to backfill Peru Basin and then cut his ability to support himself into Quito or backfill him when he does. So,
Yeah, that tracks.
it's a little bit of spite. My spite lessens a little bit with time. Um, but also I think it's just the best like move if I want to fight him as well, which works. Although I could have spited Mapuche for not attacking him ever. I'd do this, but I didn't think that this army was going to just move out of the way. This move is crazy to me. Like what?
Yeah, I don't know what's going on there.
It's anti-Guarani, but like if you're doing anti-Guarani, you like hello?
Yeah,
Anyone
just doesn't
home?
make sense.
Of course,
I
Guarani.
don't
Guarani
understand
moves
what
the
kind of
fleet back out.
progress Grind is supposed to make by doing this. Like, how does this advance your board state at all?
Guarani spent this entire game not advancing his board state. If we go back to the start,
Grind has been like,
look at
yeah,
this. We were. I'm just gonna draw like a big. I'm gonna draw. What? How can I draw? I'm just a big circle here, just so I can mark this file. We go back to the start of this AAR, year 3. These were Guarani's dots. Okay,
mhm.
we go out here to where we are. Guarani. These are Guarani's dots. No progress at all.
Guarani will make a move and then like immediately do the exact opposite of that move, and just results in nothing ever getting done in this region.
Now that you mention it, there's a good.
I don't know. You need to take dots eventually.
Let's see.
This is like year 4, year 5.
I've got a good image for this. All right, Salt. What time is it?
Uh, dots?
No.
No. Nothing ever happens.
Nothing ever happens. I got to put this in a spot where I can hold it. There we go. Oh,
Yeah.
I wait. No, I copied. 1 second. That's the wrong tab. 1 second. We're gonna have to do some editing. To everyone who will not be able to see it, I did pull up my browser, which doesn't have anything terrible on it, but like, you don't need to see the Europa Universalis 5 wiki. You can see that on your own time. All right, there we go. Look at the time. Would you look at the time?
Isn't it fun?
Oh, it was a great time working with Guarani and Mapuche. Guarani and Mapuche who will never stab anybody, and Aymara who will never stop attacking me. It was a bad time to play Spain. Oh
Yeah,
boy.
yeah. I was bad trying to play Dutch too. Actually, now that you mention it.
Hmm. Yeah. Let's see. In North America, I'm moving my fleets out and about because there's not much point to being here anymore. If I move them out here, I can take Jamaica from England. I can kind of try to have a Caribbean position despite my complete lack of like anything in Mexico.
Yeah.
So that's the best that can be done. And in Europe, yeah, it's that stab. It's this. I'm fighting Cass. France is still on side, because France understands that if this fleet moves to Corsica, he loses Florence immediately. So, and luckily, France is the smartest colonial I've worked with thus far this game, and doesn't like to do 0 stabs. Hmm,
Wow.
interesting.
That's fair, but still.
Yep. So,
This
Salt.
game was just complete chaos.
Well, you don't say. Back to you.
Yeah, I mean, more of the same on my end. Ayutthaya does not back off. As you thought that backing off for one turn, and then stabbing game was probably the best route going forward, which, yeah, probably was the best route, but I still am not leaving this position, so nothing happens. Lots of red in the north. I'm still trying to beat back Mapuche, but I kind of got the guesses wrong this turn. So they dot Timor. I thought it'd be Flores. It's kind of a gamble because I really want to get into Timor Sea. And yeah, just yeah, it did not go well for me.
Painful.
So I lost that one, which sucks. And Tokyo's back in Minano, which sucks even more.
This is why you should have kept your South American position.
I still don't think South America was the spot for me.
If you had kept your South American position, I would have supported you into Donnie.
Yeah, we already like agreed to fight here, so I don't know if that would have worked.
I mean, I would have changed my mind at this point. There's not much better
Fair.
to be done.
Yeah.
I mean, I
We
would
can
have
go
supported
to
you.
Africa.
I would have supported you to Donnie, but I still would have done this move because I owed Ezio a debt.
Fair. Yeah.
So
Africa. Nothing happens. I get
you
dogged by
are,
Congo.
yeah. The position in
Yeah.
Africa, believe it or not, is dead.
Yeah. I mean, I know it's dead. I just want England to not get dots.
Well, you failed. Yeah,
Who goes for that though? Who goes for that
you
move?
should know exactly who
I
goes for that move. What else is
It's
this unit
so
supposed to
dumb.
do? What else would that do?
I believe I can retake this in the fall though. Like I have the Nina knots and I can tap the retreat
So
to Gulf of Guyana.
yeah, I mean, you technically can, but you could have put these units to a lot better use in South America.
South America is just dead. South America's not going anywhere here.
I tend to disagree with your
I
assessment.
I don't think it was gonna go anywhere. Um,
Well, it would have gone better places than this.
I just want Britain to lose. There is no plan here besides make Britain lose.
England has already
And I think
lost.
I'm doing. Well, I want them to lose more.
England lost in the spring of year two.
England attacked me across the world, not getting a single dot anywhere except for Africa, and they decided that that one dot for Africa was worthwhile enough to attack me everywhere. So I decided that England can't have that.
You gotta have some self-preservation, Salt.
If Africa is worth that much to Britain, then I don't want them to have it. You know, maybe I can make them feel something if I take that away from them.
Hmm. Well, anything else noteworthy, Salt? Not really.
Not really. Everywhere else is just dead.
Yeah. So we go to fall. I bounce Toku again. This is planned. I go to support myself to Solomon Islands because I'm just gonna take a shot at Donnie at this point. Why not, right?
Yeah.
Toku supports me down to Celeb C. I try to try to snipe Sambas, but you cover it. You try to snipe Manila, but no. Let's
Yep.
see. Ezio gets a bunch of progress here. This progress basically kills your position here. At least it kills Sumatra and Sambas, but not necessarily Batavia and Banjarmasin. Um, in South America, this is the best tactical move set for me, so I play it. I cover Galapagos because
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be attacked, and I know that this MPO fleet is gonna be cut somehow. So I just hold Hawaii, and I plan to disband
Makes
it on
sense.
retreats. I think. I take Jamaica, but I hold Yucatan Channel because my expectation is that England will like do this. I think that's the smartest move set. But he
Yeah.
doesn't.
They back out of Gulf though. That's decent for you.
No, it's not. I don't have any
I guess
centers there anymore.
not anymore.
It's really bad
Yeah.
actually because now there's no. He could have cut Saltillo and prevented
Just
Beach
don't
from
just stop
advancing.
the Ute cores. Oh
Like
no.
and now he can't cover St. Augustine. Look,
Oh,
St. Augustine's free. What you what are you
oh,
doing, man?
England, what are we doing here? And France stats Britain, because of course they do. Who could have seen that one coming?
Yep. Well, England stabs France too, so
Yeah.
just a
Oh
raw
yeah, because England
guess.
stabbed France like last turn, I think.
Yeah, this is there's no rhyme or reason to any of this.
No, there's not.
I don't know. Europe, I move everything west. That's pretty simple.
Yep. Yep.
And I actually
Portugal's tapped.
cover every single dot, luckily. Except I can't cover
Except Tunis.
Marrakesh.
Tripoli.
Well, this is not coverable anyways. I mean,
You could have held it if you
well,
really wanted
it
to.
is coverable, but it would have cost me Tangier.
Yeah.
And
True.
I have wronged the Ottomans quite a bit this game, and I feel more obligated to cause problems for Portugal, given our history.
Yeah. I can see that.
Yeah, and so I will. Anything noteworthy, Salt? I guess we'll go some tactics here.
Um, I mean, it's gonna be more of the same from here on out.
Hmm.
Mapuche bounces, Ayutthaya positions but doesn't get anything. Bounced you. I just holding on to what I can, really.
Which is not going to be much.
No.
Yep, and Africa is
Um,
dead. Dead.
yep.
Turns
Yes,
out,
it is.
despite you keeping 6 units for 3 centers, you still let England have one.
I somehow, yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
this was.
and Congo, I worked with England to keep it, which sucks.
Turns out, this was a bad decision.
Oh. Poland dots Britain though, so I'm happy about that one.
This is all in service of
And
Portugal.
it's not a great move for Poland because Portugal's dotting them. But England would have been in a much stronger position if I had disbanded here, and Poland wouldn't have dotted them if I had it done this, I think.
I bet Poland would have, dude.
So
You know
I
it.
don't think England. I think England would have stuff like on Poland's border if I hadn't done this.
Do you think he's that forward-seeing though?
Good point. Good point.
Like, come on, yeah, you gotta play this under your belt and not give up South America.
I don't think South America's gonna go anywhere. I'm surprised that Kalina was kept here, but Portugal saves me from that at least.
It's going more
Which is
places
nice
than
of them.
this.
Yep.
All right, that's it.
Yeah, everything else is dead. So
We are dead. We have disbands. You get rid of Luzon Sea, and you get rid of Africa.
yeah.
I get rid of Tunis mostly because my calculation is I can cover it here. Because this fleet doesn't do much by itself. It's kind of stuck in the dot instead of out and about, able to act.
Yeah, the line you have with the cast now is pretty easy to keep peaceful between you two.
Yeah, it only really collapses if Portugal digs in down here with armies, which they will inevitably do with support from Cass. I expect her, like I said, to death roll me for the rest of the game. But that's just part of the life, you know. I should have killed
Yeah.
Cass early.
That's how that goes.
Portugal builds units hostile to me here. No big surprise. I'm ready to just fight him forever and ever.
Yeah,
And England, I talk to England shortly before the phase ticks, and I get them to disband Gulf of Honduras by promising peace,
that's fun.
which is
When
a fair
England does
prom.
something that you want for a change.
Well, it's a fair promise because I can go and say to him, "Hey, I'm going to take back Cartagena."
Yeah, it is free.
Um, and this entire time, by the way, Poland is messaging me, asking me not to take it, saying that he's going to be my partner against England and France and everybody. And all that time in my head, I'm like, no, dude, fuck you. Like you spent your entire game screwing with me in Caracas. I'm gonna screw you over as much as I can.
Yeah,
Because if Poland had not attacked Caracas the entire game and had gone and done something else, I might have had a much better time in South America because I would have an extra army to pull south. And maybe when you stab me, I get my little stabler assault's gonna stab me. I just walk into a little dot, and then I have a build, an extra build on that turn where I wanted to stab Portugal. But I didn't,
yeah.
so I won't stay my knife from Poland now because I want Poland to.
No, like I don't know why you leave that dot free for Spain. That's Poland.
Well, he no, he
Like,
didn't. I bet.
what did you think was gonna happen?
I don't think he thought I was gonna hold this here, and I think he thought he was gonna get bounced, honestly, like this.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I guess
probably.
that's fair. Yeah. I'm
But,
happy that he dotted France though.
yeah,
That was nice of
so
him.
I'm just I Poland has not endeared himself to me at all this game, and there's nothing he can really say to me to get me not to dot, him. He doesn't provide anything of value to me. All he provides
Yeah.
is burning resentment, because he
Yep.
didn't ever negotiate. He never negotiated. I offered him deals, and he was my way or the highway.
Yeah, when you just decide you're gonna stake your whole game on one dot, that's what happens, I guess.
Yep. And I get rid of Galapagos because it's gonna be unholdable in the long term because Oot will force it like this. And I expect Toku to stab at some point. I just do.
Yeah, most likely.
Yep. And on we go. So Tokugawa, believe it or not, stabs me.
That's crazy.
I know, right? I
Supporting me
cover.
to Manana though. We
Yeah, we.
appreciate that.
So we make back up here. I basically pitched. You're like out of it completely. I think you're done with this game, and you have been for a while. But I pitched to you that
Yeah, pretty much.
you can still survive here, and that we have a shot at surviving here because I can take Solomon Islands, and you have Papua. I can get you back into Monado, and we can set up some sort of janky line against Tokugawa, Mapuche, and
And IU.
Ayu, because I kind of see this whole thing coming here. Um,
Yeah, I mean it's pretty obvious who's gonna stab. They
it's
don't
just a
have
good
much
time for
else
it.
to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, so
I mean we need both like have nothing better to do than just sit here and defend what we have.
we do work together. The problem is that Oot is this hostile to me. So, and I remember
Yeah.
this. Oot doing this. I remember this, Osseous. If you're listening, this move, bad idea. Lost you a lot more than I gained you, and we'll see why later on in the after action report. Um, so yeah, that's I think that we can yeah, like your Southeast Asia is just kind of working with me and holding against Ayutthaya. It's pretty simple.
Yeah, there's I mean it's just the same bounces every turn with the Puche and with IU there's not a whole lot to. I'm kind of working with Azeron now against Ayutthaya.
Mhm.
Azeron's game has recovered quite a bit actually since the beginning, where they just got coalitioned by everyone.
Yeah.
It's still never going to win, but they are actually like in a position where they can start like making plays for dots. So with them helping me against Ayutthaya, that's like just like the extra little bit of support I need to like be able to hold this front in general. So that's why you don't see any progress made from Ezio south.
Yes, it's good. Africa, look at that. Cormonton held for now.
Yeah,
um, I am basically duct taping a position together at this point. Because this move is to take up Portuguese support or not support. Take up Portuguese time. I moved to Porto because I don't want Portugal to get up and around, and have this line of attack while being able to cover Porto. But he
makes
sees
sense.
it coming to an extent and holds the unit while still pushing this forward and this down. I convoy Iran back to Valencia so I can cover like Madrid and Gibraltar at the same time, and I support myself back to Tangier because this is the most important dot to hold that this army can, and also because it's going to be attacked and this army is moving away. Because yeah, at this point, my position I'm just duct taping it together with whatever I can to hold as long as possible. I can't make Portugal stop attacking me. He's committed too many units to this. And he's always going to have Ottomans on his side because she's super hostile. And will attack me and she will try to convoy armies away from Austria who is actively attacking her.
Yeah, that tracks.
Yeah. Um because if this was a fleet, this just holds. And if she wanted
Yeah,
peace with me here, she could have had it because I have no option but peace. Literally nothing to do
yeah, it's
except for
kind of pretty
peace.
much the only thing you can do.
Yes. But
That
despite
sucks.
another case of spite driving someone more than self-preservation, which, despite how spiteful I can be, I am a survivor, and I will
Makes
rat.
sense.
I'm a bit of a rat, and you'll see what I mean
I
later.
mean, these colonial positions are good for surviving. To the end. Even with all the stuff that's happened to us this
Yeah.
game, we can still survive, which is interesting. That's kind of
Yeah.
both a blessing and a curse at the same time.
hmm Yeah. So we go
Um, but
we
yeah,
go go down here
situation.
to South America. I take Cartagena because, like I said, I don't like Poland, and I move Jamaica down to Bay of Panama. I tell England about this, and I'm hoping England is going to be friendly. Um, because like, come on, man. Like, anyways,
Gotta give you something.
um, yeah, and I just want to hold out against Poland and be annoying to him. I fire this line off against Aymara, and somehow this works. Um, Aymara falls for this. I guess I say fall for it. He gets pushed out of Madeira anyways, so it wouldn't have. It was not a good position to be Aymara in. And of course,
Yeah,
I think here in this turn, Portugal's trying to coordinate with me in South America, but I am really not in the mood. A, I'm not in the mood to coordinate with Portugal, and B, I don't trust him to coordinate with me. Um, Although I think I say yes to him anyways. I don't know. I forget. At this point, it's kind of cooked. Um, I don't have a position against Aymara, so he convoys his army up to Quito, which is actually pretty smart. I have no way of stopping this. And I don't gain the advantage of being in Gulf of Guayaquil after it either. So it's pretty well played.
yeah. Not a ton you can do about that.
Yep. And I expect Uchashone to move like this any moment now, so I cover with the army or the fleet. Sorry, with the fleet. And them's the moves. And on
Yep.
we go.
Next phase.
Next phase,
I
Manila
think it's
Falls.
more the same.
Yeah,
Or no, Ezzy gets Sandbath, so I
yeah.
do lose a dot for once up here.
I could have cut this, but I think I was afraid that he was gonna do the safe move of this, and I was gonna fall in here. And the fleet there is not very good, I don't think. Because I can't cover, like, I don't know. I don't know why I thought that was bad. I guess I just didn't want to, like, spite Ezio that much.
Yeah. I mean, at this point, you just kind of make up what your own goals are and do those.
Yep, Ushishone doing
Um,
this again.
yeah,
Again.
Mapuche supports him in for some reason.
Yep.
You would think Mapuche would want less people competing for these dots. Um, I guess they've like had so many turns of not making progress against me at all that they kind of need the extra support for it.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Like even with Toku sitting here and making sure I can't take anything off of a Mapuche, like Mapuche still can't make progress at all.
Yeah. Yeah, same old, same old. You almost make progress here, but no progress is made. Um,
Yep,
it's just you get Monado back and lose Sambas.
yep. It's a great time.
We're having a good time. In South America on this turn, I run this move set, which is it's the maximal. It's the most optimal move set I can run in this position, and
Hmm.
so I run it. And I
And
actually
Guarani finally
messed it
makes
up.
that stab that you're talking about.
Yeah, this would have been good like 5 years ago.
Yeah,
Guarani might have actually gotten to play the game. I mean, it's like
yeah.
you're
Now
getting a lot of builds now, but the problem is, well, you look over here at
you'd
the
be
amount
doing
of
this
centers everyone
5 years
has,
ago.
and it's too little, too late.
Like these are good stabs. You just need to make them like way earlier in the game
Yes.
to make a difference.
Poland is still threatening me, trying to get me to walk out of Cartagena here, but I don't do it. I support hold here to send a message. It doesn't make any difference that I support hold. I just expect England not to take Jamaica because, like,
Oh,
why? Like, why would I know why you want to center? But dude,
come on.
we should be fighting Uchashone, man.
I wonder what Uchishone is gonna do that core in Saltillo.
I don't
I
know.
really
Maybe
wonder.
I don't know. Maybe also he shouldn't have like walked away from every single center he had. Like,
Who
dude,
could have
come
seen that
on.
one coming?
It's the bare minimum. just like try to have a unit next to a center to force him to make sure
Don't
like
give people free dots if you can avoid it.
and like what did you gain by sending these units away? Sure, you get Jamaica, yeah, that's 1 dot, and you lost one, two, three, like 3 centers right there. And like you could have had a shot at like Sotillo if you were in the Gulf of Mexico or something. You didn't hold New Amsterdam. You didn't hold Falmouth. You got Bermuda, sure, but it's France cored it. You let France core Bermuda. I don't know when that happened, but you let France core Bermuda. It's now useless to you anyways. And I don't know.
Yeah.
Look, oh, you got Guadeloupe. Congratulations. That's your consolation prize. Um, it's really easy to get angry at England as time goes on, looking at all the moves cumulatively and not having days to forget them. Because
Yeah, I don't
they
know
had
what
this,
the
yeah.
plan here was. Just doesn't seem good.
Also, Athabasca had a sneaky stab on Oud if you wanted it. You know?
Unfortunate.
I mean, Oud had builds, so maybe not this phase, but like maybe in spring, you know? Like in spring, if Athabasca wanted, like you like run down the coast here, you sneak the armies in. I don't know. There's something. Um, but no. In Europe, I am running some basically BS to try to hold a position together, working with Austria, who takes split, and I'm just covering my centers. Madrid is covered, Gibraltar gets covered. Tangier falls, which was always going to be the case because Strait of Gibraltar gets cut, and they have 3 on it, believe it or not, if they want it. He only uses 2 because he wants to cover the Canaries and Marrakesh from my fleet in Tigrit Bay. But I use Tigrit Bay to cut Madeira Plain because I figure this is the most annoying thing I can do. Either it is supporting Sea of Azores here, in which case I prevent Portugal from getting that back, or if this is the unit that's moving, then I land here. And this is an even more annoying place for Portugal to have to deal with my fleet because even if you dislodge it, I move it out to the Atlantic. And if I get a fleet into the Atlantic, I mean, I can do anything I want with it. And I have enough dots here that I can do that as well. It's a good time.
Yeah, looks pretty solid.
Well, it's a bad time, but it's a good bad time.
It's yeah, best we can get.
Yes. And I because Uchishone is annoying me in the east and collapsing my position, I decide to be annoying here. I mean, this works out for him because he can build in Mexico City, but like this fleet's just gonna stand here now for quite a while and not let you pass because I mean, what else could I do? Like, sure, England's been like annoying to me, but at least England's played poorly against everybody and hasn't just wrecked my game from the beginning, unlike Uchishone.
I too would like if England didn't wreck my game, but unfortunately, that's just what Ironsides does, and at least in this game.
Hey, but you keep Kalina.
I keep Kalina again.
Would have
It's
been a
2 years now. I haven't had a unit in there.
viable South American position if only you had held on to it.
I don't know.
Anyways, builds, disbands for me. I get rid of Slevsea because it's my least useful unit, and Solomon Islands
Yep,
because it's pretty useless there as well. Papua for you goes away, which makes a lot of sense. It's not very useful. I have more
yeah,
disbands, luckily, so I disband Tafilalt and Tigrit Bay because neither of these will accomplish that much in the defense of my centers, other than being mildly annoying. But I
makes
want to
sense.
live. I don't want to just live to annoy somebody. I want to live. I don't want to die. Portugal, Third Army. There you go. Um, and Ushishone builds 2 fleets in the Gulf of Mexico. And at this
Who would
point,
have seen that one coming?
and before moves, I talk to England and I say, you know what? You took Jamaica. I hate that, but whatever. Um, I think I ask him to support me into Gulf of Mexico here. Either this way or the other way around. In any case, my current plan with the Yucatan fleet is to prevent Uchishone from getting into the Gulf of Mexico, because that will impede his progress and be annoying. And he has proven that he wants to be annoying to me. So goes both ways, which I think is quite fair.
Yep, makes sense to me.
Yep. And on we go. We got to speed it up, I think. There's not much more to talk about for us, I think.
Yeah, we can probably like fast forward between like the next few phases. I don't think there's anything major that
I
happens.
misorder Cebu. I was careless here. I think I presumed that this would be the move to cut Manila or that it would be like this and then this cut.
Oh,
But like,
yeah, you held instead of. Yeah, that sucks.
but like, it's dead anyways, man. I'm not. I'm only upset because
Yeah,
Ushishone got a dot out of it, man. But he's not going to keep it because Tokugawa is backfilling.
yeah, and Tokyo stabbing. I tie like this takes a lot of pressure off me. I'm still facing a ton of fleets on the border, but significantly less pressure on me. And Mapuche starts making progress in the south because I thought that maybe I could trust a deal from them for once, and turns out I could not.
Well, they were going to make progress anyways here, though, because uh, they could support in like this. And without a unit
Yeah,
here, you can't cut everything.
yeah, pretty much. It doesn't matter too much in the long run, but still
Mildly annoying.
stings.
Oh, well.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, you go Indian Ocean, probably, yeah, like dots, 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 dots.
yeah. Reunion was the plan when I did this because
Yes.
that's actually I tie in there.
Sneaky Ezio. Let's see. In Europe, my position is still slowly falling apart. Gibraltar Falls. I have a poor guess. I am guessing that he will want to send the army here like this and like backfill and go here. Is my thought of what his move that's going to be, but instead he pulls in the fleet, which will delay his progress up the coast. But he's willing to take that in exchange for getting the dot more guaranteed by cutting me here. I bounce Cass out of Iran because I see that one coming, but it still isn't a very good outlook for Tunis, you know, on account of
Yeah,
this. I think at this point I try to reach out to her and cooperate with her in holding Tangier, but she tells me that it was just part of the deal from the beginning that she would give that away, and I'm like, yeah,
great.
yeah, you're spite fighting me. Okay, yeah, yeah, sure, sure thing. Yep. No, no, it's fine. If
S-
someone, it's totally fine if
No,
you fight
skip
someone.
Portugal free dots.
It's fine if you spite fight someone after they stab you twice because that means that I know permanently that if I ever do that, I'm just gonna kill you forever.
Yeah, I mean this is also what Cass's games devolve into. I think almost every single time. So par for the course.
Oh well. In South America, I'm doing move shenanigans with Aymara to stop him from gaining any dots as much as I can. Same with Poland. This move actually saves Cartagena for another year, which is funny. I'm spiting
Solid.
Poland. Poland is still offering me, I think he stopped offering me deals at this point. He kind of understood that I was not feeling in a particularly Poland friendly way at this time.
Yeah, I wonder what caused that, honestly.
And then, yeah, Gulf of Mexico bounce because I also am not feeling in a particularly Shoshone friendly way at the moment.
Yep.
Let's see
As they
what
get
else.
more cores.
Yeah, well, I delay for what I can. Let's go next up. Death of Philippines. Very sad, very inevitable. At this point, I tell
Yep.
Ezio that I want to hold on to Kotubatu as long as I can, but once I no longer can have it, I will support him in because I prefer him to have it over Toku or Ushishone, which I think is fair.
Yeah,
Tis
sounds
tis the
fair.
decision.
More of the same on my end. Um, Ajuan asked me if I was going to go to a reunion. I told them I was, and then they also go for it for some reason here.
Yeah,
So not really sure what was behind that.
beleaguered garrison. Well, he tried to cut you, but he
He,
misguessed the unit.
yeah, I don't know what's going on here.
If he was doing this, he should have cut both or neither.
I think I told him which unit was moving in too. He was weird.
He probably didn't believe you. At
Probably.
Acheron was Ashlael, for anyone who knows him. Let's see.
Yeah.
You finally lose Kalina. I lose this guess. I try to cut. I try to think it's going to be like this, and it's not. And that means I lose Japura. But I still, I mean, I get Madeira, but I could have supported from here and gained both. Part of the reason I didn't is because I can't build in these three dots because I haven't cored any of them. So it's all temporary, anyways, in my view, right? Um,
Yeah, they're not a long-term position.
so I'm more willing to gamble to try to hold on to Bogota.
Makes sense.
I land a fleet in Caribbean Sea. England decides to cover Jamaica because I haven't proven myself trustworthy or anything. Um,
Apparently.
so in I go. This is just more. This is just me proving more that I don't like Poland. Dropping a fleet in the middle of this position.
Yeah, I mean, w- I don't think it'll take anything, but it's very annoying for him to deal with. So always great to see.
Yep, and the Gulf of Mexico bounce. In Europe, I am actually in this position guaranteed to lose Madrid. So I brought myself back to Gibraltar instead and covered the retreat to Valencia he could do. I covered Tunis just in case, although in hindsight could have bounced, but I expect them to try to take a shot at it. And I vacate course because, well, I I don't
Yeah,
I forget why. I think I
I
told France that I was going to hold it there, and then I didn't. But from this position, France can't dot course because the moment France dots course, he's out of the way for Austria to walk from Florence to Savoy to Marseille.
yeah, I don't see why the hold was better though. I don't know. I mean, I would
Because
go for Florence even though there's no way it works.
like what if
I
Austria
don't know.
tries to backfill or something? Yeah,
Or like finishes the core on Rome.
yeah. I mean, but it makes no practical difference. Luckily, so
Yeah.
we're all winding down the colonials, and on we go to disband. I get rid of Mindoro. I hold on to Sulu Sea because I have one dot here. Um,
Yep.
Over here, I hold on to Yucatan because I can, and I think I actually only had that one disband. Yeah, only one disband. And Uchushone is
Solid.
slowly growing more and more annoyed in my press when I don't disband that fleet near him. But I actually muted his press in like year 3. Um,
Yeah.
so I don't notice that until like later in the game when I'm like, I wonder if Ut's a manny press. Because
Makes sense.
I muted it. There was nothing of value in there. Everything was always lies. Like at one point, when I had Hawaii, I was promising. I basically was telling him like, "Hey, I'm anti." I think it was saying I'm anti-England, um, or something. And no, I'm wrong. Sorry, I'm rambling. I told Portugal was a big threat on the board when he was attacking me and getting dots. So I asked him to let me keep Hawaii so I can resist Portugal better with no practical way of holding Hawaii. And he told me yes, and then took Hawaii anyways. And that behavior
Oh.
where you can force a center, um, and you tell someone they can keep it and then you take it anyways, really makes me spiteful because there's no need to lie. You can just say, "No, I'm taking it." And I have to say, I mean, okay, I can't do anything to that. Um, but but if you let me know I have more effective ways of using my units, like I could try to drop one into like, if I have a Pacific unit, I can try to drop one into like Tokugawa. There are more effective things to do.
Yeah.
But that lie combined with this behavior, there's a reason that this fleet will stick around for a while, and those are the reasons.
Yeah, that tracks.
Yep. Spite can be avoided by not making pointless lies. Anyways, spring
Who would have
moves.
thought?
Who would have thought?
Yep. About more of the same on my end.
I go to cover Cotabato.
Nothing. Yep, as you should,
Yay,
because Ezio's
dots.
going for it,
Yep. Um,
and Ezio's not attacking me.
exactly. He's friendly. Good guy, Ezio. Um,
Yeah.
I get booted out of Caribbean Sea, and England for some reason moves towards me here. I don't get
Oh
it.
my gosh.
Like this makes no sense.
No, that's a decision.
That is one of the decisions that can be made, but probably shouldn't be made. But Uchishone lets me into Gulf of Mexico because I don't think he believes that England's
Why
going
is
to
he
do
sending
this.
the fleet up to Karankawa? What does that do?
I presume what you want to do in fall is this, and then you build
Well,
the
you also have
road.
like, do you really have that many spare units to do that? That's insane.
Well, if you're not stabbing at the Pasca, then you certainly
Oh
do.
my, jeez. Okay, I guess, sure.
Yeah.
And we're just
Um.
fine with Athabasca and the Great Plains.
Yep. It's kind of depressing. This fleet actually gets forced disbanded here, by the way, because England moved
Oh,
here, so
yeah.
I can't hold back. I can't hold back Poland anymore.
Yeah,
If
oh wow, it's literally every passage you could
if
go
I could
to.
retreat here, then I could hold Cartagena against Poland and prevent their advance, but I can't. So England will suffer from it now because Poland will
Yep.
become more and more powerful.
England just ruining games like a professional here.
Short-sighted decision making, we'll say.
Yeah,
Speaking of short-sighted decision making, he accepts support into Maryland from Uchishone.
questionable.
Except this shows that France was offering support to Jamestown, and if England had cut this, he would have gotten it.
Maryland's not even a dot.
Mhm.
Oh god, why? Well, after you dotted you too. Like, it just makes no sense.
Yeah, because you get to Maryland, sure, but France has a unit here. Oh, I grabbed the unit. France has a unit here. France has a unit here, or France will have a unit here. You're not getting any of these.
No,
Not happening.
there's no point.
Oh well. So the other side effect of that is that England makes no progress against Inuit here. I think no. England could have supported France here. Let me here like this, and held off at the Pascha a bit more as well.
Yeah, that works.
I don't know. There's a lot of extra things that England could have done that better, but didn't. Um, yeah.
Yep, I think that's everything.
Yeah. I'm slowly dying to Portugal in the Mediterranean. Tunis is
Yeah,
lost inevitably. I get into Ionian at this point. I make a deal with Luxon. He offers me basically janissary status in exchange for him going mostly east and not killing me, and I take it because Luxon, of all my neighbors who are doing well, so that excludes France, is the man who has wronged me the least. His only wronging of me was stabbing me in this maneuver, which is, it happens. It's much less than
yeah,
Portugal, who is killing me, or Ottomans, who are annoying. Sorry, Cass, but you can't stab me and then claim it's my fault and that it's your genius move from expecting me to stab you because we both stabbed each other. Anyways,
yeah.
fun, fun,
Super
fun.
fun.
Luckily, I cover everything correctly here. I get the best moveset I can out of this. Wait, no, I don't. I could have held Gibraltar. Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you could have.
but this is such a like this is such
I
a
guess you're expecting them to go for Barcelona with Madrid. You just got the guess wrong.
no. I expect cut plus take, right? Cut, 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 take
Hmm.
with
Yeah,
a possible side of Barcelona. This is the last moves that I expect, right?
yeah, it's
Because it
an
has the least
interesting one.
upside, the absolute least upside. But that's what Portugal does, and he gets away with it. So on and on we go. I lose Cotabato to Oot here because you support the men. Very mean of you
I
to
did.
salt.
Yes. Tokyo offered me a vassal deal here, and part of that was to support Udin. So that's what I did.
You can lie and not do it, right?
I mean, I could, but if I can buy myself time and get Tokyo to help me out with my Puche problem, I figure that's probably worth it.
We'll see. Um, in South America, I tap Japura because if he moves anywhere, then I get the dot back, so nothing happens. I lose Cartagena. England covers Jamaica because that's always what England always covers Jamaica, man. What else are you gonna do in England?
I mean, even when nobody's near it, gotta cover.
Yep.
I guess France is in Windward.
France and I
Okay,
accidentally
France could
bounced
take it.
Bahamas Channel, but it doesn't matter at this point to me.
Yep.
And in Europe, I hold on to everything so far. There's some dissonance here between Portugal and Ottomans. I don't know what the problem is here. And I'm just following Luxon's orders at this point in here.
Yeah, makes sense.
And yes, disbands. I get rid of this unit. I don't need any more. I decide to get rid of Honduras as my disband. Because this is the least useful unit I have, along with the one over here that's never going to get a dot. and I hold on to Gulf of Mexico because Osseous was a bastard this game, and I will slow down his progress. Rightfully so.
Fair enough.
Osseous, you shall not pass yet. Yet. Let's see. Moves. Southeast
Get a few
Asia
years.
looks like Tokugawa's getting up there.
Yeah, he's making steady progress,
Yep.
and I am just sitting in my dots. It's a
Holding on.
it's a lonely life, but I haven't died yet,
Hmm.
and my
And
pitcher's getting kicked out.
yeah, I am dying now because Portugal's dawning me in South America, which is sad because if Portugal had moved here, you would have just gotten Cayenne instead. Um,
Yeah,
but
I
I actually have an army in Chicatano. I forget how I ended up there. It's
I think
I
everyone's stabbed. I Mar and just ended up there
I
by
got support
default.
from Gorvani actually. But then they both support me to hold because I'm kind of a neutral army down here, and these two are fighting each other for now. Um, in the Caribbean, I hold on to the Gulf of Mexico fleet, and I get England to support me to hold because I don't
Yep.
like Uchishone. And in Europe, Valencia is lost guaranteed, but I support myself into Madrid to cause more chaos. This army is dead. I cry. But I
Yeah, it's
convoy Lux into Salonika because he asks for it, and like I said, Luxon, your wish, my command. All right, we're going to speed run through a few years because the game will be over, but we will
yeah.
not have any say in who wins it. At least I don't
No,
think I do.
we have lost all control
My
over how this game unfolds.
my say is delaying Portugal and Uchishone.
My say is just surviving
Yeah.
at this point.
You'll notice my say is delaying uh, 2 and 3 on the leaderboard. Might be relevant later.
Yeah, who says?
Who knows? Yeah. So in South America, I think I like lie to Guarani here. He like asks me what I'm doing with my unit, but I expect him to stab me. So this was planned. He told me he was going to do this, but I didn't believe him. So
Yeah,
long
fair.
story short is Guarani's annoyed with me after this, but like I don't really see any huge downside to it. This retreat actually, I get to retreat to Carib, and Poland vacates Parmerbo, so I get one more.
That's
I get
nice.
I get one more chance to spit in Poland's face. Come next year.
It's always
Um,
fun.
yeah, we hold Gulf of Mexico. There's some guessing here. No, there's a convoy there, so the guess is wrong from England,
He
which
has
means both
way
these
too
will
many
fall.
units to be able to pull this.
Well, it's because
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. The ability to just like sit here and pull moves like this is
you know, I
insane.
I do wonder if
You can just afford to do this.
2 and 4 sitting at peace on the leaderboard might have adverse effects on their ability to win the game down the line. Do you think it might?
Who's to say?
Who knows if that
Look,
would be
half
a
the task is
possibility?
having a convoy, like do like a 4 fleet convoy on the entire north of the map here, just to get
Yeah,
enough dots to approach their win con.
yeah. When like just stab him, take
Like, here's
dots,
how you win. You
take
gotta be
centers,
able
man.
to, like, as a regional, you need like almost you need to stab pretty much every single one of your neighbors to win. Um, like this game
You,
like is already longer than most, and they're still not at 100% because they haven't attacked each other all game.
I will slightly correct you. You need to be willing to stab your neighbors to win. You don't necessarily need to stab all of your neighbors, but you have to be willing to do it, or you're not going to have the mindset to win.
I think as a
Just like,
regional, you genuinely do because like you just don't have the room or the time to stab to like piece with
get
one
it
of your
this
neighbors the
way.
whole game. For most of the game, sure, but you gotta make like
But
I
like,
don't think you have time to like piece out with everyone.
yeah, because in this position, Athapesca should be doing uh, this, this.
Yeah.
You get this. You get Shoshone, you get Arapaho, you get Seneca, you cripple Uchoshone's position. Um,
Yeah, then like there's no one left to oppose you at all. You just win.
then maybe you'll get enough centers to win.
Like Yeah, like there's not 11 dots around without stabbing you or taking 10 years to get them.
Yeah. In Europe, I go and take back Barcelona because that's the best I can do in this position. Um, and these moves are coordinated by Luxon because he wants to set up a convoy eventually into Barcelona, but that comes a couple years down
Solid.
the line.
Okay.
You survive,
I survive.
and that was fall. So now we're on to builds. You have no builds, and I
I have no
also have no builds.
builds.
I have a disband. I get rid of the army here because that's dead. That army is dead, and the
Yeah.
only use for it is to retreat up into France and be annoying. But I'd rather
Yeah, I
survive.
guess Portugal ruined to
Well,
antagonize France
well, two
as
things.
well.
I'd rather survive with the fleets in the Med. Luxon wants me to keep Levantine Sea, and I want to keep Carib because I can put it here and force Poland to use 2 units on me.
Yep.
And I am not feeling particularly charitable towards the Polish at the moment, believe it or not.
I wonder why.
Hmm. Almost like he attacked me off the bat and never stopped fighting me.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that the Caribbean's the one theory going well for him.
Yep. Well, not anymore. Well, it still is going well, but I'm gonna make his life hell for it, you know?
Yeah, he's dying everywhere else, to be fair.
Okay, so Southeast Asia, this looks pretty par for the course for you.
More of the same. Tokyo decides to end their our vassal relationship, unfortunately.
Well, technically no.
I must have
Maybe
lost
he
the
does
note.
this.
Maybe, but like
But like, yeah.
it doesn't look great for me. I
Yeah,
must
maybe he
have
just
like
wants to do this.
uh lost the email where he told me that our arrangement was coming to an end, unfortunately. But
Yeah.
yeah, this is pretty clearly game over from Toku.
Yep. And in Europe, Barcelona's obviously fallen. I self-bounced Beliers, cut Barbary Coast, and Luxon does whatever he wants, and I tap Tripoli because he has no orders for Levantine Sea for now, so I decide to be
Yep,
annoying to Ottomans.
makes sense.
Yep. In South America, as you'll see, Portugal actually gets up to Carib, and I get to Palermo. And you know what that means?
Oh,
That means
they can support
Poland.
you.
This is spring. Poland can't take back Palermo and fall, so he loses a dot
Oh,
off of this
true.
too.
That's really nice.
That's hilarious. I get to stay around. I think this is actually where I lied about my move in Chiquitano to Guarani. I think so. I think so.
What'd you say you're gonna do here?
I forget. It honestly did not make any difference in my head what that unit did. I had written it off a long time ago, and it wasn't spiting Aymara.
Fair.
It wasn't spiting Aymara or Poland, which are the two people or Oot. As actually, I didn't point out, I got rid of Gulf of Mexico here because from this point it's useless as a fleet. The
Yeah,
next phase it
I
will
mean
be
they're covering
disbanded.
everything. They're
The
coring everything.
best you get is retreat into Muskogee or Karakawa, and I value
Yeah, like
survival
if
and spiting Poland more than that.
yeah, you doesn't even need Eagle Flex anymore. They have a core and a Catawba that they can build in Florida.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like
So
they're well and truly past it,
of course England here is just no. There's no
letting you
way.
have it.
There's no way that Utrashani would move into Bahamas, man. No, they wouldn't do
I
that.
They have no other conceivable target besides England. Like, come on.
Oh well. Yes. So yeah, I'm surviving. You're surviving. Well, you're not surviving. You're dying. Let's see
No,
fall.
no, I'm dead.
Salt dead. Dead.
Who could have seen that one coming?
Hey, but you got Kodabatu back, so actually you're even on dots. No, you're not even on
Yeah,
dots because Ajuran.
yeah. Ezio offered me to support into Kobatu, which was very nice of him. And then Ajuran Portugal aside that my lease on Sumatra is over.
That is sad.
Very sad.
Yes. In Europe, I survive. Austria goes to Ligurian Sea for anti-France shenanigans. Not much else to say really. I try to support.
No,
This is a Luxon request, but I get cut, so I have to retreat out here,
yeah, makes sense.
and I hold Palermo. Fuck you,
Love to
Poland.
see it.
And oh, would you look at that?
Yeah.
It looks like
Oh my God, they
what is
lost. Why aren't you covering your dots?
because Ushashoni offered
They
him support
just
into
stabbed
Jamaica.
you.
He offered him support into
They,
Jamaica. Guarantee it.
oh my God. Well, it's baffling.
Yep. Oh, also, look what happened up here. Would you look at that? You got killed by the guys who were hugboxing the entire game. Who could have seen this one
Yeah,
coming?
there's no position to be had here.
Not anymore.
Like, Ath has nothing better to do than sit in core with 5 different armies.
So disbands Mechasar, pretty good disband from you. That's the least useful unit. It's gonna die anyways.
Yeah,
Um,
there's no point.
yep. I don't have any disbands. Ooh. On account of Parmrobo.
I think we have the same
Oh, wait,
number
no, I
of
do.
units
Sorry.
around.
I do disband melee.
Oh, yeah.
Because, yeah.
I
What do
think
I
we're
know?
even on units at this point.
1, 2, 3,
You have like
4.
what?
1, 2,
You
3,
have
4,
5.
5. Oh, yeah, 5, right.
Yep.
Forgot you were even.
Yeah, we are even.
All right. On we go. Yep, Tokugawa killing you. Not much to be done here for you.
No,
I
it's
think you
pretty much game over.
maybe there's maybe some sort of way to rat out survival here as you. Let's see.
If there is, and I don't see it. With Azeron, Portugal, and Tokyo, Tokyo being the big one, is kind of just over and done. I can
Hmm.
maybe squeak out one more year, but that's kind of it in my estimation.
It needed to be this move.
Mm, yeah, if I cut Monado and bounce
And
the
then you just
Lems, I can
truck fleets like somewhere else.
maybe, yeah, that might do it.
Like you just kind of
I think
escape.
Tokyo stabbed Ute at this point too, or maybe that was last year. Like Ute's dots in Asia here are kind of getting. Kodabatu got taken away. Sanboinga got taken away.
All right.
So
Well, you took
Tokyo's.
Kodabatu away.
Oh yeah, I did. Yeah, that was fun.
I don't know. I don't think there's a stab because then Hawaii would have fallen and Galapagos would have fallen. Anyways,
True, true.
Poland finally is in position to take back Palermo, and because Portugal goes this way, it gets forced disbanded. I am sad, but I managed to spite Portugal enough to interrupt all of his progress of his position. So worth.
Nice.
I think that combined with me helping Austria, I didn't help Austria here, obviously, but being friends with Austria may have kept us on the board. Also, Luxon decides to take. Oh no, never mind. He doesn't yet. He goes up to Ligurian Sea. We bounce the
Yeah,
Scarabee
he'll
Banks to
probably
prevent this from happening, and I get to bounce Portugal here.
fun.
Yes.
Just delaying it to the end as you do.
Yep. So here's the fall. Dead, dead,
I
dead.
lose 2 dots. Yeah,
3.
I'm down to 3.
You lose 3
Or
dots.
no, down to 2.
Yep.
Yep. I think you're beating me out on dots then.
Yep, I am. Except down to 3 because Luxon stabs me for course.
Yep, but that's greater than 2.
Yep. I convoy Safavids to Egypt on request of Luxon, for what it's worth.
Nice.
Because
It's a
Cass,
fun convoy.
Cass, you die. Cass dead. Well, 1
Yep.
dot. 1 dot. Right, 1? 1 dot. That's a really
Yep.
big loss.
Yeah, Safi's just like kind of finished her off here. And,
Murdered.
yep, because she's dead.
Yep. And builds. I disband this fleet because I am mildly annoyed with Luxon. And also, there's not much purpose to that fleet because Portugal just gets in. The purpose of it, I guess, is to prevent him from doing this and this at the same time. But even if he gets the Barbary Coast, I can still hold Baleares. So I'm not that worried about it.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yes,
you can delay long enough
I am a
here.
rat. And Sicily is not
Yeah.
really holdable for me unless it's held by someone else. Um, Other than that, this spoiler alert is the last year. So, bit of a wrap.
Yay. 71 dots on Portugal.
Yeah. You might notice
Yeah,
that Shoshone and Athabasca have only just barely managed to exceed their victory supply center conditions. Might they
yep.
have benefited from, say, taking more centers?
Well, we'll see if they get the 4-way off or if something else happens.
Let's see. Let's go to spring. So you actually are not quite dead yet, but you will be in fall.
Yeah,
You just
Tokyo
hold.
asked me to make different disbands than what I could have. I did not. but also I am kind of just willing to see what happens this year.
Hmm.
So let Toku do their thing.
All right. Not quite as a rat as I am. I am a big rat. I am bouncing Portugal. I'm cutting Tripoli to prevent it from coring it. I'm moving down to Algerian Basin so I can cover everything. I'm being a rat.
Yeah,
Yes. And then in fall, the faithful turn. As it turns out,
I am dead.
you're dead, Acheron. I don't know what to call this if not a throw to Tokugawa. Supporting Tokugawa into
Yeah, there's a
Seychelles.
lot of talk at the end here.
Ash-
This was the throw.
Acheron threw to Tokugawa, which was explicitly prohibited by the rules of the game.
Yep.
So that does have an impact on who I would like to invite to my future games. Just saying, for posterity's sake. Gotta say it, don't I? Um,
Yeah. Um, part of me is I don't know. Maybe I should have let England make that throw to France back in like year two, and maybe that would have led some like gym action against England, and then maybe would have had like a playable England to like negotiate with. But I'm not sure how much that would have done.
well, this was the final scoreboard for anyone wondering. I can cover moves, I guess, for a moment. I cover Sardinia. I get these two to bounce in Sicily by telling them both to go there, basically. I
Survive
hold
on
in
two.
Levantine. Luxon asks me not to take Smyrna, so he can, and then he doesn't. So I survive on 3.
Uh,
I could have been 4. And
four.
this is the final scoreboard. Tokugawa brings it in by a 43% margin. Um,
Uh,
and if
yeah, they got 12 builds. Most of those, right? I don't know most, but maybe like half are from that throw from Azeron, if I remember.
we'll count 1. I gotta wait. I gotta reselect everything to count. All right. 1 dot,
So they get
2 dot, 3 dot. Let's see. Where are there? Maybe it's just 3.
um
Well, no, that's not a throw. This is just wait. No, this is the throw. 4.
yeah, there's four of them in. Uh okay, yeah, just four.
Well, I think 4 is for the margin. 4 is the margin, right? Let's do math.
For a small power like Toku, maybe.
Is for the margin. So if this was 45 instead, I will tab out. We'll do 45 over 32. That would have been 140.6,
Oh,
which would not have
yeah,
been
that's
enough.
within 35.
This throw ended the game, I think. This was on the was this
Yeah,
on the 30% or the 35?
it's 35%.
Yeah,
So
this
yeah,
was 35.
the
So
throw
yes,
mattered.
this throw. Oh, I got to write. Throw ended game. I'm like Saul from Khan Academy. That's a reference.
Yeah, and like we have like Sweden, Safavid, and Austria, who all could have won,
Correct.
but
But
that's who suffered from it.
Ageron decided they didn't get to win,
Yeah,
and along with Athabasca, Portugal,
yeah,
Italy.
along with those three.
I don't feel as bad for Athabasca or Ushashone because they could have like at any point done anything.
Hmm.
But I feel
I
bad
think
for
Sweden especially played a really good game that we
yeah.
didn't
This
get
is
to talk about too much, but
but Sweden
yeah,
Sweden had a good game.
Safavid too.
Yeah, I'm disappointed. I know the game didn't go well for me. I thought it might not. That's always a possibility playing these games. I will say I'm very disappointed that the game ended with a throw. Um, because that's obviously not how you want this game to end when you make explicit anti-throwing rules. So, you know,
Yeah, yeah. It always sucks to see a throw in the game like this. Unfortunately, it's just what happens occasionally. I wish less games had throws, but sometimes it is what it is.
I will
And
endeavor
next
to
game, just
yeah, I will endeavor to
yeah,
assemble the next game with a roster of players who will all not throw.
yep. Hopefully we'll find the players who won't do that.
Yes, there will be modifications to the player list for better content. Oh, this was pretty good content. It's just kind of got depressing for the last 5 years of the game because we were just dead on the floor.
Yeah, yeah, pretty much.
But we've reached 3.5 hours.
There we go.
Actually, 3 hours, 29 minutes, 30 seconds. But we can pad for a few extra seconds.
Yeah.
I can actually just go to the
Um,
final board state, which was this.
yeah. Portugal and yeah, Portugal just has so much land on this map. It's very interesting. I don't think I've seen Portugal do have like almost all the Africa before.
It is ironic that the
This is
power
neat.
Portugal spent the entire game propping up and Azeron was the one that prevented them from winning.
Yeah, pretty much actually.
That's a lesson there. Don't prop up powers like that for so long. They might bite you.
Yeah,
Kill.
yeah. Just unfortunate, really.
Yep. Um, ooh. But anyways, I'd like to thank everyone for watching. If you sat through this long, then congratulations. You must really like the sound of our voices. Um,
Thanks for watching.
yeah. And yeah, we'll see you next time. Eventually, we'll see when that is. Might be soon, might be in a while. You never know with these games.